going on, ladies and gentlemen? AJ Gore here, and we are back. We are live once again, and ladies and gentlemen, boy, do I got to tell you, we got ourselves a lineup tonight. We got a ton of new products that we're going to work to get through. I'm going to spend some time on them, but not try to spend too much time because we got a lot to cover. Plus, I've got a very special guest coming to you, which we'll bring on here in just a few minutes. Just had an exciting win. We got some cool stuff to talk about. We'll get into that in a minute. But first, let me jump over and see who's checking in and give some shout outs to my people. Of course, you know YouTube is popping off like crazy. So let's jump over here real quick and let's say hello to everybody that got in here. Of course, like I said, YouTube always pops off first. So we got Dave Raleigh. What's going on? Gary, what's happening? Ethan says, hello. Is this a tournament? I'm not sure what you're asking about. What is a tournament? We got Robert Green. Hello. Who else we got up in here? We got Juan Pedro. How you doing, brother? We got Mandy checking in, Steve Yeckel. We got a bunch more people just now starting to sign in, and things are going to pick up as time goes on. Ladies and gentlemen, if you guys are watching live, Helen, how you doing? Bob, what's going on? Freddie Delgado, hello. Do me a favor, especially you Facebookers. Share this live feed. Let people know that we're going live. We got some giveaways. We got a ton of great products. Going to tell you where to get all those discounts. Plus, of course, a very awesome special guest. And we'll get into that in just a second. But it definitely helps me. The more views we get, the more goodies that I'm allowed to give away. And it's going to be a good time. Now, one thing that I do notice about YouTube here, it feels like I get shadow banned on YouTube because I use a third-party provider. As you can see, I'm using StreamYard. And for some reason, I think StreamYard just doesn't care right now. StreamYard doesn't like me. So we're going to keep it going. I'm going to kind of do some monitoring myself on my YouTube feed. But Facebook, I get like 100 times more views. Like I'm into the thousands and thousands on Facebook compared to the couple hundreds on YouTube. And my YouTube commenters are crazy. So guys, show me out in force. Help me over the next couple weeks. Prove that YouTube is shadow banning me because I use StreamYard or something. I don't know. Because Nikki can do the same live and get thousands of views. Not that Nikki's not doing a great job. I just try to figure out what's going on my end. So anyways, without further ado, I'm going to bring in our special guest. This gentleman, it's a cool story. And we'll get into this cool story that how it all came to be. But we got elite angler in the MLF Toyota Cup Series, as well as other tournament series he fishes. Robert Branagh, we're going to bring him to the stage right now, and he is fresh off of a pretty sweet win on Lake Okeechobee. Robert, what's cracking, dude? How you doing?
How you doing, man? Still haven't put my feet on the ground from this past week.
Yeah, I got your head in the clouds.
It's in the clouds. It's in the clouds big time.
Good deal, man. Good deal. So you fished the MLF Toyota Cup Series. What other circuits do you fish? And we'll get into your win at the MLF, but you're a busy guy. So what do you got going on?
Yeah, I'm doing the MLF Toyota Series Southern Division. I'm doing the ABA Professional League one-man Southern Division, the ABA Professional League Central Division, Roland Martin Team Trail. So yeah, we got a pretty busy schedule coming up.
Yeah, you got a stacked schedule hitting there, dude. Like your schedule about as busy as mine on this show just for tonight, but yours just keeps running. So that's crazy.
Yeah, it's gonna be a crazy couple months for sure.
I can imagine. I mean, but like you said, you got your heads in the clouds, and that's what's sweet is this is early on in the season, so you've got the possibility to rake in the dough tonight or this year with just some serious wins. You know, I mean, hopefully you put a couple more under the belt, or at least get some good finishes to stack up points, and that like we were talking earlier, you're shooting for Angler of the Year. And that it's all going to boil down to points for that, especially get some good finishes. But you already got a number one under your belt for 2024. Now, your first win came back in 2022, did it not?
22, yep. That was the first Toyota Series I ever entered, and ended up winning that. And I came from behind on that one, which I got to tell you is a lot easier to do than going into it leading. Into it leading is stressful, yeah, because you got a lot to lose.
You taste the victory, and you're like, I don't want it to slip away. I get it. Okay.
Yeah, you're sitting back and forth, fifth, sixth, 10th. the goal is anytime you go on these is top 25 because you're fishing against some serious hammers. And, to make the top 25 cut is a huge deal, especially when you're talking, 220 boats back in 2022 and 184 in this one. And, they're all hammers. There's not one of them in there that's not a hammer. So if you can make that top 25, that's an awesome achievement, let alone win one.
Yeah, I can imagine. Now, let's go back to that 2022. I'm sitting on the couch one night and I'm hanging out. And if I'm not mistaken, it was Adam Robinson, who's probably watching tonight. He still tunes in quite a bit, right? Adam Robinson sends me this instant message, right? He's in my inbox, slides into my DMs, and he's like, "Hey man, check this out." And he sends me this photo of this guy named Robert Branagh, and he's got this picture of him with a Mega Jaws bait caster and a pack of net baits. And he goes, "This guy just won this big MLF, tournament, this big victory, and he's using KastKing." And I'm like, what? And I look, and I'm like, he is. And I start looking, I'm like, we don't sponsor this guy. He's got no affiliation to us. This dude's fishing a very big platform against some sticks. So anybody fishing that circuit, is legit. Like, could be fishing some big circuits, other places. I mean, the Toyota Cup Series in the MLF is it's full of hammers, dude, just flat out. And I look at the reel you're using, and you and I talked about it. Now, I'm going to get hate on this. Because I know this reel had its fan club. I was not a big fan of it. It was a decent reel, in my opinion. The Mega Jaws, original Mega Jaws, the red one that was like the 9-speed, and it had the rubberized cork handles. It was decent, but my opinion, I'd have picked up 10 other reels that we sold at that time, and that would have been my preference. But you won a big MLF Cup circuit from it. I sent that picture up the food chain, was like, hey, we're getting a hold of this cat. We got to hook him up. Not only did he win, and he's doing some great free marketing for us, but we got to get the love back to this guy. We did. We hooked you up. But then I heard another rumor that you're still using that same old reel that in my opinion, there's so many other great reels in the lineup, but that thing's cashing checks for you, dude.
That reel has been a great reel, and actually that particular reel I bought on Amazon probably 6-8 months before the tournament.
Wow.
And that reel is still going good, and there's no reason to replace it. I just re-spool it and keep on trucking with it. And actually, that was one of the reels I used this past weekend to win this MLF as well. And I probably won't be changing it.
See, me personally, I'd have been like, okay, that reel right there. Well, I don't know. You could look at it two different ways, but I'd have stuck it up here on that. There's two pretty trophies there behind you. I don't know if you wanted to swing out the way real quick and show off. Look at that. Look at that. See, now I love my jersey collection here, but I don't have no MLF trophies or blue trophies or anything like that. You got some trophy deer above you. You got some MLF trophies. I'd have stuck that Mega Jaws, that $60 Mega Jaws that I bought off Amazon. I'm like, dude, this is my lucky charm. But then that's the other argument. If you take it off, is that why you don't win? If you don't win, you know what I mean? Or is that how do you look at it? Is it a tool or is it a lucky charm?
Actually, I brought something with me today because I'm thinking about actually doing that. And what I have here is another Mega Jaws. That we might be replacing it with.
Now that's the upgraded Mega Jaws.
That's the upgrade. We might be replacing her just because that thing's probably got 300,000 cast on it.
Oh, the miles on that thing, dude!
It's probably been re-spooled 400 times,
but no check engine light.
No check engine light. Okay. No check engine light. Drag still works. Brakes still work. Everything works fabulous.
That's killer. And I've seen some of the fish you've caught, and you're in there competing, you're winning, so you're not catching little dinks. I mean, I'm sure you're still catching dinks, but you've got that reel has probably caught its share of toads. So just by far, it's okay. So like, here's one thing right here. Juan Pedro saying, never change it if it works. LOL. See, like me, I agree. Like, sorry guys, if you guys are in the comment section, I'm really enjoying this conversation, so I'm kind of forgetting to look at the comments. I'm only one person, so I apologize. I'm trying to look at them, but I look at it like there's so many tools in the that you could do. Okay, my mind's all over the place. The Mega Jaws, the one you used with the rubberized cork handles, like I said from the beginning, it was a decent reel, but I liked so many other reels instead of that, over that. Like I would have used the Mega Jaws upgraded version. So we have 3 different series of Mega Jaws. For those of you that may be new to KastKing, we have the original OG rubberized cork handle that was in about the $60 to $65 price range that you have now successfully dominated some MLF tournaments with. And then we came out with the upgraded version, which is now you just showed a black version, which should be the updated traditional Mega Jaws, not the Mega Jaws Elite, right?
Right.
And so that's an updated frame, a little bit of updated braking. I think there's a little bit different design in the shaft and things like that. But that reel, I like that version a lot better than the old version. So hopefully you will too. But then there's the aluminum frame Mega Jaws Elite with the A and B braking design, which you've actually shot some videos for with that reel and done some work on that. But now let's go all the way back to square one. We've got the Mega Jaws Elite, which is your tournament grade, Elite. It is more formatted for what you're doing. But yet here is a 2-year-old. And you could argue and say that this is more of on the economical spectrum of a reel that you bought on Amazon. And now this thing has cashed, and we won't talk dollars. But they're substantial. These checks that you've cashed. I mean, MLF don't pay peanuts. You know what I mean? They put some decent change out there. And this $60 to $65 reel has cashed some checks for you. Now, has it cashed more than just MLF checks? Has this reel cashed more than the 2 that I'm talking about?
Oh yeah. It's several of the ABA one man's, same reel. It's a couple of several top 10s. Okay. So yeah, that reel's probably
what would you, if you had to say the reel that money's made, put a dollar value to it, to that $65 reel, what is your ROI, your return on investment with that reel? Just without getting crazy. If you don't feel like saying the number, I get it, but
$140,000.
Wow. $140,000 return on $65. Guys, there's a whole lot of investments out there that just, like in the stock market, that people lose more money than that. And they say fishing is just throwing money down the drain. Guys, if you do it right, take care of your equipment and just know how to implement it, man, that is killer. Okay. So take us through your setup. The first MLF win you did with this, and then the second MLF win. What were you using first tournament? What did you use this last tournament? What was your keys to success on these?
Okay, so kind of similar to the same. Back in 2022, we were at the same time. Spawn season was coming. I mean, everything was lining up great. The problem was we had high winds, and the winds were switching directions several different ways. And anybody that has ever fished or heard about Okeechobee, you got to fish clean water. So if you don't have clean water, it's very hard to get them fish to bite. I don't think they go anywhere, but it's just very hard to get them to bite. So I targeted an area that was way back into a pocket. It was clean water. It was about a foot deep, but it stayed clean regardless of the wind direction, and that was the huge key. Now, how do I catch them? I'm a power fisherman. I like either punching, flipping, throwing a frog, or my favorite bait is a speed worm. And that tournament, actually, every fish I weighed in came on a speed worm on that tournament. Fast forward to this tournament, and the weather was doing the same thing. Now the lake's in not as good a shape as it was in back then. We've had a lot of storms come down through here. We've had a lot of mismanaged funds on taking care of the lake, in my opinion. So you used to be able to get in some backwater, and if the wind was out of the north and you could fish the north side, you could fish south, it didn't matter. As long as you were in that backwater, you had a lot of grass to filter it. Now, we don't have that grass to filter it. So from the lake all the way to the hard line, we'll get super dirty. So I saw the wind that was going to switch, 360 degrees through the course of the tournament. So I put my mind down. Again, we're in the spawn season. Fish just don't spawn in grass. They will spawn in canals. They will spawn on rocks. They will spawn anywhere the water's clean, anywhere you got a good hard bottom and you got bait. They're going to spawn there. So I targeted a bunch of different canals and ended up finding them spawning on the bottom of the rocks. And needless to say, I caught them on a speed worm. Same thing, but this time I was in a lot deeper water and I was just slow rolling it, ticking the top of the rocks. And it really paid off. I think on day one I had 3202 by about 9:30. On day two, I had about 11 pounds in the same area. So I went to my secondary spot, called up for about 13 pounds, knew I had to go to the spot I was saving for championship Saturday, and ended up in about an hour calling up to 24 and a half pounds. And I should have had about 33, 34 pounds on day two. Went back through that same stretch on, championship Saturday, and I did not fish clean at all. I jumped a 4, had a 7 come off at the boat. I ended up catching a 7.5. I ended up catching a good limit for almost 17 pounds, and it was enough for the win. I actually only had one guy that weighed in enough fish for 3 days to bump me out of the hot seat for my 2-day wait. So,
really?
Yeah, it was pretty crazy weekend, man. I don't think I to take a breath on Saturday watching the weigh and sitting there in the hot seat for 2 hours.
Oh.
It was pretty amazing. Pretty amazing, man.
Now, what is that feeling? Like you said, you can't catch your breath. Describe the feeling of sitting there watching. You see guys come up and you're like, oh, that guy's not a problem. I got that guy all day long. And then another guy comes up and you're like, oh, and you're trying to do the math in your head. What are some of these emotions going through you other than just the anxiety if you can't take a breath?
So with the math I had, I knew that the guy that was closest to me, the way the fishing was, the weights were going down every day, that I needed approximately 18 pounds. I only had 16 and a half. So I knew I kind of thought that fish I jumped and that 7 I lost really threw it away. And I was really down coming into the weigh. And then I started seeing the weights come in. A couple of the guys that had 22, 23, 27 were weighing in 7 and 8 pounds. And I thought, oh boy,
wow,
we might have done it. Then when it got down to 2 anglers left and he said, you got to go get your fish, I thought, well, I might have a chance. If that guy doesn't have, 24, 25 pounds, I'm looking pretty good. And that was the case. He weighed his fish. He went in the hot seat. We had one guy between us. At that point, I knew I only needed about 6 to 7 pounds to take the lead. And it ended up being 9 pounds, I think it was. And I had 16 and a half. And it was pretty amazing, man. Pretty amazing.
Wow. Jeez. That's So what's your next stop coming out for this one?
Next stop actually is next weekend on the same lake. But those fish are probably not there. And if they are there, they've been beat to death since I left.
Okay.
So we're going to have to find something else out. I've already looked at the weather. I kind of got an idea of what I need to do. And we're going to go to work and see what we can do. Hopefully I got a plan in my mind. And then this time of year it's worked before. And we're going to see if it'll work again.
Good deal. Good deal. Now, granted, we won't talk about that right now, but I got a deal for you. If you go in there and you bang it out again and you cash another big old fat check, you got to hit me up and we'll get you on the show. We'll just rubber band you right back around after.
That'll work.
So
I'm sure that's something to fish for then.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. That's your motivation. I'm not looking for a couple grand. I'm looking for that extra spot on Give It Away AJ's Tuesday nighter right there. That's where it's at.
Yeah, AOI would be the big deal. I mean, really, to be honest, you get up there in age, you're fishing against guys that they fish every day. They were on the lake a month before me. I got a job. I'm just a weekend warrior type fisherman, and I've been doing it a long time. But you get up there in age, I mean, it would be great to get an AOI. I mean, I never thought I'd have one of these behind me, let alone I'd ever have 2 of these behind me. Let alone would I set 3 records. Let alone would I lead from day one to the end. So, it's very possible. I think I can do it. And I'm going to go down swinging for sure.
Now, let me ask you this. And I hate asking personal questions, but I love asking them at the same time. So you're married, right?
Yes.
going into these tournaments and the money that you, like you said, you've got a day job, you're a weekend warrior, so you're financing. You know, you got to have a good rig to pull it. You got to have a good boat. You know what I mean? They have stipulations, things like that. So there's big bucks to be competitive. Of course, you got to have decent sonar. You got to have most of the bells and whistles to be relevant with a lot of these guys. And like you said, they're young sticks. That is a big chunk to chew for the wife to go, this hobby of yours is turning into it's a big old hole and money's just falling down in there.
Well,
Did you guys, has she always been, obviously she's been super supportive because you've been doing it, but
always.
what's her opinion of it now to see, like you said, records being set, not one red trophy back there, but now you just set a second one there. Where's she at on this situation?
I got a funny story behind that. So number one, I own a boat dealership, very small boat dealership, and my staff is amazing, or I would not be able to do it. You know, it's Aquatech Marine in Palm Bay. We're a bass boat dealer. So that helps on the bass boat. I still buy my boats. I still buy my gear. I still buy everything. Nothing's handed to me.
Okay, now mind you, you are a business owner. You own a boat dealership, a small one, granted, and you're buying reels on Amazon. Ladies and gentlemen, think about that. Yeah. So anytime you see these snobs that go, I got to buy this reel off a tackle warehouse because it's $400 a piece. That's the only way I'm going to win. Come on. Look at.
Yeah. No, anybody can do it, man. As long as you get the right tools in your hand and you put your mind to it, you can pretty much do anything. But the cool story about my wife, we'll back up to my wife, is she was a school teacher for 35 years.
Bless her heart.
So, you know, most of the tournaments are during the week, and then your tournaments are on Saturday, and they're always a long way from home, and she's tired from working, and she's got to get ready for Monday. Well, she retired last year. So before this tournament, she said, hey, I'm going to come to the weigh-in. And I said, no. I said, don't plan on coming. I'll let you know on Thursday how we're sitting, and then I still don't want you to make plans because it can all go in the toilet on Friday. So I'll let you know on Friday. So Thursday I called her. I said, we're sitting pretty good. We're leading it. I said, you can think about making plans. Thursday I came in. I said, we're still leading it. Make your plans. So this was the first tournament that she come to the weigh-in live there in person. Was this last time I left Toyota Series.
And then to watch you hoist that big red trophy up in the air. Was she crying? Maybe that's too much. I mean, I'd have been crying. As your friend, I'm like, oh, I get it, man.
I don't know if she was crying, but she was screaming pretty loud. She was pretty loud.
Yeah. I bet you could hear her voice over everybody else's.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, really, to be honest, I couldn't hear anybody's voice. I was still so far up in the cloud, worrying about the weigh-in and worrying about who was going to weigh more than me and if I had enough and the fish I lost and 1,000 things going through my mind, you know.
Dude, you're probably just up there vibrating like, oh, God. Like,
yeah.
Oh, man.
Day one, I fished very clean, didn't miss a fish. Had those fish by 9:30, like I said, put my co-angler on some fish, went and checked out a couple areas, used it kind of for practice. Day two, I didn't miss any fish, but I was kind of spinning a little bit because those original fish where I caught the 32 pounds on day one in a couple hours were gone. Plus I had a bunch of locals and a couple tournament guys in there. They were gone. So I had to revert to my other spot, just hoping that they were there. And within an hour, we put 24 in the box. And I knew I needed somewhere around 25 to have a chance to stay in the lead. So that made me settle down. And then Saturday was, you know, when I jumped a 4-pounder and lost a 7, I thought for sure I just flushed it down the toilet. But it all worked out in the end. It was meant to be, you know, meant to be. And it was an amazing experience. Amazing.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Jose's jumping in here saying, amazing testimony, Rob. That's just killer, dude. That is killer. So we are at 24 minutes in, and I've had some really patient people here watching. We've got quite a few good viewers in here. I think we need to give some stuff away.
Give it away. Give it away.
They call me Give It Away AJ. So let's do this. Can you see our comments?
Yes, I can see
the comments. Okay, now do me a favor. We're going to go ahead and I want you to, at random, I don't know if you can scroll up, scroll down, find somebody at random. Go ahead and pick me out a winner.
I can't see all of them. I can just see Jose's.
Oh, well, we're not giving him anything. Screw that guy. So Jose, go buy it yourself. So I don't know if so you don't do you have a laptop nearby or anything that you can I think it'd be fun to
Yeah, let me do this. Let me get on here.
Oh, you're getting on your phone?
Yeah, we'll do it on the phone.
Okay, perfect. So funny story. Now I use all Garmin fishing products, right? All my graphs are Garmin. I've got a Garmin back at the wheel. I got 2 Garmins up front. I've got a Garmin trolling motor, and I got started into adoring Garmin because I watched a live show like this a couple years ago, and I was still hosting the lives. But Scott Martin and not Roland Martin, but Scott Martin and Bill Dance were doing a live show together just before Christmas. And I was like, hey, you know what? I'm going to tune in and just watch how these guys do it and take some notes, and who knows, maybe I'll win. And boy, if I didn't win my first Garmin Echo Maps, I actually should have won a full live scope when they first came out, but something happened and they picked somebody else. And everybody in the comments was like, no way, AJ answered that first. He got that one. But I ended up winning still won my first fish finder. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to try to buy Garmin from here on out. So it's neat how that kind of works because it gave it away. But I'm always look at, it was, you know what? It's funny is it was a Garmin. I have a Garmin 93 SV and a Garmin 73 SV, and it was the 73 I won, which got me started. But that's what I have in the front. I only have an 18-foot bass boat, by the way, so I don't need these giant. I'm cramped for space, and it's an old dual console Champion. I don't know if you've ever been in one of those.
Right.
They are tight. They don't have a lot of space. I miss my single console Stratos that I had. That was a lot more storage, but I adore my Champion. Don't get me wrong. I'll tell you what's nice about it. Paid off. That's what's really nice about it. Paid off Mafia. That's fantastic. So, but I always look at that Echo Map 73 SV and think to myself, Scott Martin and Bill Dance gave that to me. And it's just kind of cool. You know what I mean? And now we have Bill Dance on the team with us. You know, we work alongside Bill Dance. It's just really neat. So we're going to have you give somebody something. And let me pick out what we're going to give somebody. You know what? We'll go into this. This will be the first product that we talk about here in a minute. Let's give one away. Let's give away the new version of the Hypersil tackle box. So do me a favor and pick me out a winner, and I'll write that down, and we'll get them announced that you can see in the comments. Should we do suspense? Tease them?
AJ, I still can't see the comments.
What? Uh-oh. All right. Well, let's do this then. Let's go here. So I guess, well, guys, I'm sorry, but here, how about this? Robert Branagh and I are going to give you a product here. So he's trying, but I'll have to pick it for him. So I'm going to harness the chi that is Robert here. So let's see. And we are going to stop. First name I see is Fish Fiend. So let me write that down from YouTube. Fish Fiend from YouTube. This pen sucks, by the way. I got to find another one. Fish Fiend this is what he wrote. Now, granted, if you guys are watching and you're not commenting, that's part of your problem. Okay. That's part of your problem right there. Why you're not getting picked is if you're not commenting, I don't see you. So I can't pick your name. We're going to do another giveaway throughout the show. So make sure you guys are commenting right now and let's get those numbers up and have ourselves a good time. So Fish Fiend, you need to do me a favor. And I believe actually now that I see that, I think that I see his picture. I think this gentleman was on our live last week as a special guest jumped on. I did a open mic and was just letting people come on and talk. And I think this young man jumped on with us. So Fish Fiend, do me a favor. Hit me up on Facebook Messenger with a screenshot of your login screen so I can know that for sure it's you, because I don't want it looks like a young man here in this picture. I don't want some 40-year-old scammer stealing your free tackle boxes, man. If you're who I think you are, I want you to get taken care of. So do me a favor, hit me up on Messenger, a.j.gore, like you'll see right now when I minimize this. Well, it says give it away, AJ. So it's a.j.gore, G-O-R-E, on Facebook. I'm the gentleman holding up fish in a straw hat. And give me a screenshot of your login page from YouTube. And I want to get all your information. And I'm going to send you out your choice of the new Hypersil tackle boxes. And we're going to talk about these. Do you have any of these, Rob?
No, I haven't. I've got 2 of them. I don't have the new one yet, but I need to get them.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, they are the bee's knees. I have converted 95% of what I use to them. They're awesome. They're amazing. And I'm sure you know this. I mean, anybody that's seen the competitions version, they're a fraction of the price to those. They are just as good quality, if not better. It is killer. So Fish Fiend at YouTube, congratulations. Hit me up. We're going to get you dialed in. But now, Rob, just in case you haven't really checked them out, so our original version of the Hyperseal tackle boxes look just like this one, right? Yep. So they are a clear plastic, very nice quality, high-end quality. You can get it in the 3600 series, or you can get it in the 3700 series. And the cool thing is you can fit quite a bit. They have a really cool latch system, so they will lock and they will seal and they will be waterproof, okay? They will float too, unless you pack them full of like 65 pounds of lead or tungsten. I'm sorry, it's just going to sink because that's just a big weight. But for the most part, you put your crankbaits, your jigs, worms, all kinds of stuff. I put soft plastics in here, and the cool thing is you can remove all these different little trays and you can organize it to be whatever size you need. Another cool feature is this material in here. For the layman's term, this is a product that's going to absorb. It's a very dry product that's going to absorb any moisture, and this thing's going to soak up all that moisture. So you can put wet baits right in there. It's going to like suck all that moisture like a magnet and retain it in here. So you can not have to worry about your hooks rusting, different things to that nature. And this thing is really going to keep your tackle organized and protected from the elements. And like I said, if you accidentally, we were out fishing this weekend, a buddy of mine kicked a rod and reel over the side of the boat and it was gone. It was like a $400 setup. And I was like, dude. Now, the nice thing is you kick one of these over, like I said, as long as it doesn't have 60 pounds of tungsten or lead in there, they're going to float and you can retrieve these. If you take off, you left one on the back deck of your boat, you took off and didn't realize you did, and you go back, circle around, you can retrieve it. That's the nice thing about these new Hyperseal tackle boxes. Easy to see what you have. You can move it around, put a multitude of different kind of baits in it. But the other cool feature is they come with labels. So now you can actually put several different labels on there, and they give you several different labels you can put on there. So say you outfit this one time for a lot of people who are not rich, not cashing, for people who don't have a ton of MLF trophies back there and things like that, and they got to make every penny count. Now, don't get me wrong, Rob, I know that you've got to make every penny count still, but there's a lot of people who can barely swing picking these up. And then all of a sudden they put this bait in there, and then they buy another one finally, and they move it around. Well, they already put a label on there. They give you quite a few different labels, so you can actually, one box comes with a bunch of labels. So you can change it quite a few times and grow as you grow as an angler and grow in your packages. So that's a pretty cool feature right now on Amazon that you can pick these up. They are live in the Hyperseal tackle boxes. And actually, we will do this right here. Let's go over and let's find one. Let's see. Show the people how quick it is to find. There's the Destin braid.
So the big thing with KastKing, everybody watching and tuning in is, it's affordable innovation without going through 25 different suppliers that marks the price up. You're getting an incredible product. I mean, I'm a prime example. Amazon, Reel, it's the same thing. Ordering directly from KastKing, you get affordable innovation and it's quality. Everything they have is quality.
Absolutely. So I had links set up, but I don't know what's going on. Every time I click on a link, which is weird. So let's check here. I'll just go ahead and show. Let's do this. Share screen. We're going to come over and let's go here. Okay, so check this out. So I had this spreadsheet to where normally I could just click a link for and this is what it wants to show instead. I don't know what that's about, but this is supposed to take me direct to Amazon, and I don't want to click on it. I don't know what's going on. Well, there it went. That was strange. I never clicked on it, and it did it. That was wild. So something changed there in our spreadsheet that we normally use, but yeah, that shouldn't have popped up at all, but we're going to go with it. Okay. So yeah, the Hyperseal tackle boxes, here they are right now, guys. As you can see, now you can still get the classic orange one, or you get the new gray. I like them both, but guys, make sure they're already on sale, 10% off. That gets you at $14.39 for. I mean, that's These are normally about 25 bucks in the competitors pricing for this size, the 3600 series. To pick this guy up for about 15 bucks, and then right here, make sure you guys are clicking that 20% off coupon, then add it to cart. You're going to save even more. That makes this one of the most affordable professional style tackle boxes on the market. So, Robert, take notes, man. Get you some.
I'm got the notes.
You got your notes going. So, all right. So that's the Hyper Seal tackle box. Let's go ahead and move on to another one. Now, when you're out fishing, we'll go into a different segue here. Let's talk about fishing line. How important is quality fishing line in your line of work?
You know, fishing line is, well, it's just, again, it's like a tool. You know, you can't drive a 16 penny nail with a trim hammer. You got to have the right tools to do the right job. So fishing line, rod reel, fishing line is all huge. I mean, a bait is a bait is a bait, but those are your three main tools you need to get the fish in the boat or get them to the boat. Not necessarily get them in the boat, but get them to the boat. So, you know, KastKing has a ton of line. I use all of it. It's all excellent. I use the covert fluorocarbon. I use the hammer braid. I use the Alpha 9. That's all you'll see in my boat because that's all I use. Yes. And it's incredible line.
So I've actually just got my boat wrapped, and I am rocking the Covert Extreme. And you and I were talking about it. I actually went out and had a stellar day on the water yesterday. Caught some pigs, and that's all I caught them on was the Covert Extreme. But the hammer braid, fantastic. You've got the Alpha 9 series. We got the new FS, the forward-facing sonar hammer braid coming. It's awesome. But there's another braid that I think it's looked past quite a bit, and we're going to talk about that one right now. Let me go ahead and share this. This is let's go here. Perfect. So this is the new Destrin 8, or new colors added to it. This is the Destrin 8 carrier braided line right here, okay? So we've got some new colors to it, kind of this nice chartreuse green, and then, of course, the sample I have is a black. But if you look down here, look at all these different colors that you can get. I mean, you've got black, blue camo, coastal blue, that grass green, or I like to look at it as like a chartreuse green. Then you've got the green algae. You got the high vis yellow. You got the low vis gray, moss camo, and so on. I mean, there's so many. I can keep talking. Tons of different colors out there. Now, maybe you can help me explain to the people out there watching right now. Braid is very important. Now, you use probably, I'd imagine, being down there in that tournament, Okeechobee, you do a lot of Florida fishing. Do you use braid a lot? Like, is that a big go-to for you?
So my thing is any bait that is in cover, heavy cover, is going to have braid on it. You know, punching mats, I use 50, 65-pound hammer braid. Never had a problem with it. Even my top water stuff down here, because we have, you know, such heavy cover, I'm throwing the new Alpha 9 and 30-pound incredible line. You'll think you're throwing mono with it. It's so flexible, and it'll cast a mile. And then, you know, the fluorocarbon is all my worm stuff. If I'm bouncing off the bottom, or even my speed worm now, I like it on that 15 to 17-pound test range fluorocarbon. That's what I use. Now, if I'm in real thick cover areas, I will throw it on 30-pound braid, 30-pound hammer braid, the black hammer braid. I'll throw that speed worm on it. Really, it doesn't affect the bite whatsoever.
Now, let me ask you this. Are you a 4-carrier strand braid, an 8-carrier? I heard you talk about the Alpha 9. Where are your opinions on that? And then we'll touch base on what some of those are actually for.
I think it all depends on what you're fishing and how you're fishing. And a lot of people don't understand the difference, so I'll let you explain it. But, you know, once AJ explains how the differences between these lines, it'll make sense to you on, you know, what line will fit the best application you're going to use. And water clarity doesn't make a difference. I'm going to use this picture you got up for example. You know, everybody wants to know, why do you have fluorescent green line? Well, if you're drop shotting in, you know, 20, 30 foot of water, you got to be able to see your line. You got to be able to see that line jump. You got to be able to see that line when it's going down. And if it's a cloudy day and the water's green and you got dark green on, you're not going to see that line. You're not going to see what your bait's doing. You're not going to see if you get hit on the drop. You got that fluorescent on there, that pink on there. You can see exactly what your bait is doing when it falls. And that's huge, especially out there because you're finesse fishing. That's very light line. That's generally it's deeper water, and then fish generally hit it on the fall. It's not like here where you're bouncing something off the bottom and you feel them tick it. You got your spool open, you're letting it fall. If you don't see that line tick, that fish is done, ate it, gone, gut hooked, whatever, but chances are you're not going to catch that fish. So the colored line in this is huge. And
Definitely. Especially a lot of times too, like in stained water, different applications, it definitely is huge. So going into a 4 carrier, 8 carrier, 9 carrier, really it breaks down to as simple as, think of it this way. So the less carrier or strands, say we'll just call them strands, carriers, because you can actually have woven like 3 or 4 strands in each carrier or more. But basically think of having 4 ropes that are braided together, hence braided line. And then think of having 8 ropes that are braided together. That's your 8 strand. And then you have 9 ropes braided together. That's your 9 strand. So the lower the number, so we're going to call it a 4 carrier braid. The lower the number, that braid seems to be a little bit more coarse, a little more robust. It's going to be noisier through the guides. It's going to be tougher though. So if you're taking a 30-pound 4 carrier braid versus a 30-pound 8 carrier braid, that 8 carrier braid is going to be smoother. It's going to be more supple. It's going to be a nicer action braid, but it is not going to be as tough and as durable. Now, braid is tough and durable, way tough and durable, but there are different stages that are more tough, more durable. So your lower carrier strands are going to be your more tougher, durable braid. So if you're going to be flipping it to tules and things that are sharp and more abrasive that can actually start to tear up that braid, or what would snap fluorocarbon to mono and other things really easily, you're going to want to throw a 4 carrier braid, right? If you're going to be doing something that is not as abrasive, you're not going to have to worry about as sharp edges, but you still want that strength and a little more durability. That's where your 8 carrier braid is going to come in. And then of course, when you get into like your 9 carrier, they tend to get more round too and smoother. That's why they fly through the guides easier. You can cast farther, things like that. So if you're flinching, I'm flinching sometimes, but no, if you're flipping and pitching, that's what it is. When you don't know what you're doing, you're just flinching. I think I'm flipping and pitching. I'm flinching. So, but if you're flipping and pitching into some nasty stuff, 4 carrier braid is what you should flip. If you're just kind of dragging and doing you still have some structure to deal with, and you're not pulling donkeys out of some nasty cover, those 8 9s are going to do great for you. But then you have braids like the 13X Finesse, 13 carrier strands, ultra smooth. I mean, you kind of see where we're going here. So braids like the Destrin, which is a 4 carrier strand, in the standard braided line, that's going to be a great system for you. And these, we have some new colors and some new models for those that you guys can get, also available in larger capacities too. So check these out. But your Destrin is now, you've got the Destrin 4 carrier as well as the Destrin 8X. So this is going to be a little bit more smoother. It's going to be rounder. It's going to fly through the guides even more. But if you're going in there trying to pull out donkeys and win major league fishing tournaments, and if you're cliff crocheting it with a deadbolt, you know what I mean, and just ripping pigs out, this is the braid you're going to want to use more. If you're not going through the nasty stuff, this is a little bit nicer. You're going to get better casting distance and so on. And then like you said, that 9 carrier, you love that stuff. I'm sure your casting distance is even better. That's why you're looking at it. So guys, whether you're banging through the Destrin 8 or the standard Destrin, which is a 4 carrier braid, this is good stuff. Plus they have that awesome zero stretch. They have no memory, that CFT or color fast technology. They're 75% thinner than mono. This is the way to go at a great price range as well. So now the hammer braid, like we talked about earlier, that's more of your higher end elite stuff. But you said it yourself too, that you have a day job. You're a weekend warrior. And when pennies count, and we're looking on Amazon, because that's where you've got that $65 crazy return on investment reel. Dude, I can't tell you how many tournaments have been won on this stuff, not to mention the original. This right here. This is our OG, and we'll talk about it in a minute. Actually, we're going to give some away in a minute. The Super Power braid. Have you ever used any of this braid?
Oh, yeah. I've used it. That's excellent braid. Yep. Actually, that was some of the first braid I bought off of, guess what? Amazon.
Yes, this right here is what made KastKing KastKing. This was our first product that we ever put out. It has evolved multiple times, but it's still very similar to its original version. Had some improvements done on it. You saw all the stuff I have to talk about, so I got to do some sorting real quick to know that we talked about those. But guys, check out those deals. Make sure you add it. But we're going to go ahead and give away some superpower braid here in just a minute, courtesy of you and I, right? And the good boys, girls at KastKing. This right here, guys, the superpower braid, we've got them available, and I'll pull it up on the screen here right now. This right here, we've sold a stupid amount. And I can't tell you, I wouldn't be surprised if a whole lot of guys that you've competed against, guys that have beat you at times, guys that are competing in the Bass Pro Tour, it's funny to watch and catch little snippets of dudes. Like, I can't remember who it was, but I saw a picture the other day posted where one of the guys on the Bass Pro Tour had a Hyper Seal tackle box open. It was one of the orange ones, and he was getting stuff out of there. And I was like, oh, look, that guy's not even on our team, and he's fishing with, he's got a Hyper Seal box and this and that. I mean, it's really cool to see things like that. I remember seeing guys wearing our gloves. So it's neat to watch how many of these guys will check things out and see where it is. But this right here, guys, if you're on a budget and you're looking for, there's a reason why this is an Amazon bestseller and always will be. It's legit. It is legit. You could probably tie this on and compete and still continue to win tournaments.
100%.
Absolutely. So let me pull this up and show the people. Where did it go? I got to find it. Superpower braid right here. All right, cool. There it is. So let me show the people right here what we got. Is there any secrets to braid or any tips and tricks that you would put out there for anybody, or you got any advice for somebody shopping for braid?
Again, just, AJ did a good job explaining the different braids. Know what you're going to use it for. You wouldn't want to take, like, for example, the Alpha 9 and go punching mats with it. It's not what it's designed to do. That original braid that he's talking about right now is amazing. 50, 65-pound test. The only reason you're going to break it is you either got it caught, you frayed, whatever. The design of the line, the design of the line with the right knot is not going to break. It's just not.
It's not. The knot is not. So, but okay. So here we go. Now here's some of the line that we're showing right now, guys. $16.99. Okay. And what I have right here is a 547 yard spool. Okay. That's a lot of braid in 20 pound, right? Now you can get it in a multitude of different colors. I mean, as you can see right here, we have a whole spectrum of colors that is just bananas. Like we said, of course, out of stock in this size, but it will be back in stock soon. You've got the high vis gray, moss green. We've got that new camo blue, camo color, that new grass camo, which is also like a chartreuse, the sky blue, which I just showed. There's tons of different colors in here, but this braid right here, tried and true. So whether you're bass fishing, whether you're walleye or catfishing, saltwater, this is a fantastic braid that you can buy a ton of. We sell these in some really good price spools, 300 yards, 500 yards. There's quite a different, selections. You can get like 80 pound when they're in stock, 1,097 yards. I mean, we've got a couple line codes there that are out of stock, but that can be because of color. So we choose a different color, go in there and look. And let's see, let's try yellow in this color. Some of your really popular colors are going to be out of stock. Yeah, like right here, we're back in stock on some of your larger ones. Like here's 65-pound braid, which is a great. I mean, I throw that a lot for like frogging and things like that. Basically 1,100 yards. You know what I mean? So let's click on this 1,100 yards. That's a huge, huge amount of braid. You add that 15% off coupon. And if you were to go to Bass Pro Shop, Tackle Warehouse, and pick up the competition out there, what do you think an 1,100 yard spool of 65-pound braid would be in the competition? I mean, it's going to be quite a bit more than that.
Yeah, I don't even think they carry that much big of a spool in stock, let alone it's going to be 3 times, 4 times more expensive.
Yeah, it's going to be outrageous. So the fact that you can be like, say yourself, you're a tournament angler. Sometimes you have to go on the road and you're like we talked earlier, you catch a fish. What do you do with your line?
I retie every fish.
You cut and retie, which is funny because I broke off a pretty good fish this weekend. We were talking about that. And I had already caught I'd caught like 4 or 5 footballs set the hook on what felt like a good fish, and broke him off at the knot. And you and I were saying, you're like, yeah, I retie every fish. And I'm like, you know what? I might need to start looking into that a little more. Now, I will cut and retie after quite a few fish, but you're making me really think I need to cut and retie at least off of every other fish. So that's a great thing. But how often are you stripping your line on this series and replacing it?
On the braid, I'll strip 2 feet off. Really, that's about it, because you're fishing in heavy cover and 2 foot of water, and that's where it's going to get its nicks. Now, on my fluorocarbon, I'll strip off 6-8 feet, and retie. Do I strip it every time? Every time I retie, I'll strip a foot or more off, but I generally don't strip 6 or 8 feet off, but every 10 fish or something like that, or if I think I might have got hung up in the rocks. I can tell you one thing about any of their braid too, which is huge, because I've done this in the past. I've bought colored braid, especially the gray or the black. I got done at the end of the day, and my seats looked like a bird took a dump on them. There was stain everywhere. Their line does not bleed whatsoever. KastKing line does not bleed.
Yeah, we early on in our days, we did have some bleeding issues like every other braid on the market. And we have diligently worked to keep that color fasting technology. Now, I won't promise that the braid will never fade. It will never bleed off, but it will dramatically keep its color way more than a lot of other brands on the market. It is fascinating how great it is. And it is a quality line at a killer price, guys. And then when you got deals on Amazon, you know what I mean? 15% off, 10% off. You can't beat it. You can't beat it at all. And then free shipping with Amazon Prime. I mean, it's a killer deal. You're not going to get deals like that at Bass Pro Shop or Tackle Warehouse and things of that nature. It's a great product right here, guys. So if you guys are looking for an affordable but yet competition grade, durable, tried and true, proven line, and you want to save a buck or two, Super Power Braid, set it, forget it. It's like the old Ronco. Remember Ronco? Set it and forget it. That's this stuff right here, guys. Check it out. Definitely got your color in some way, shape, or form, and you guys are going to love it. Whatever color of the rainbow you're looking for in braid, we got it, so long as it ain't clear. So that's the truth. Now, you mentioned it earlier. We're going to show it fluorocarbon. And before we get into that, I'm going to tell you what our next giveaway is going to be. Actually, we got to give some braid away before we do that. So we'll do that. I'm going to give 3 giveaways tonight, and we'll do our next giveaway right here. So we'll do our 3rd giveaway will be for the rebroadcast viewers. And to me, it's one of my favorites. And I don't know if you've seen it yet. It's pretty cool. So, all right, now let's give something away. Should we did a YouTube viewer. Should we leave this open, Robert, to YouTube and Facebook? Or should we only pick out a Facebook winner?
Well, let's do a Facebook winner, and then on the next one, let's combine.
Okay, sounds good. All right, here we go. So we're scrolling up and down, looking the other way, and stop. Actually, you know what? I'm going to redo that. I didn't look at anybody's name, so it's not cheating. You tell me when to stop.
All right, stop.
Okay, first person I see is right there, and that's going to be Bass Bros. Hey, what's funny is I actually put that clip up there a minute ago, so hey, that was like fruition right there. So Bass Bros. Oh, what's supposed to be a Facebook winner? Ah, bummer. Okay, so the next person I saw right under that is right here. That is Nathan Bale. So sorry, Bass Bros. I teased you. That's my fault. I apologize, but I got to obey the rules we just set forth. I hope you understand. So he's all like, no, that's not fair. Don't worry. Keep playing. You'll win. I promise. And actually, you might have already won before, I think. Maybe. So let's share the wealth. Nathan Bale. See, I told you my wife's going to church. She's going to make them dogs bark. It always happens. So Nathan Bale from Facebook. Do me a favor, Nathan. Hit me up on Facebook Messenger, a.j.gore, G-O-R-E. I'm the guy holding up fish in a straw hat. You can't miss it. Well, it'll be easy to verify you through Messenger. Go ahead and hit me up. Let me know what color braid you want, and I will give you up to a 300-yard spool of braid of your choice in the Super Power braid or the Destin braid. So let me know which one you want, and we'll get you taken care of. That's our Facebook braid winner. Nice.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. So we're going to move on along. But now we're talking about fluorocarbon. So how important is it to use fluorocarbon line? Now, do you use fluorocarbon to braid leaders a lot?
On my spinning tackle, drop shot. I use a combination of a bunch of different stuff, but yes, I do. I use it quite a bit. Also use, your copolymer to your fluorocarbon as well on certain situations. So, again, it all depends on the situation. It all depends on water. It all depends on clarity. It all depends on bait size, cover size. So yes, to answer the question, yes, I do.
Now you mentioned something funny that you're using the copolymer, and I loved the copolymer, but I've switched to the tripolymer. Have you played with the tripolymer at all?
Tripolymer is what I'm using now. I just use that term for using a polymer to a fluorocarbon situation, but the tripolymer is awesome.
It is. It's neat. I like it. I like it for drop shot too.
Yes.
Quite a bit. But
I use it on my Carolina rig. I'll use it and then go to a fluorocarbon leader on that.
so what's funny is I was using I was thinking just the opposite, that I would like it's neat. I want to pick your brain too, because the fish that I was catching this weekend was Carolina rig. That was my go-to system this weekend, and I did really good, really good. And there was one point where I was wondering, am I getting too much stretch on setting the hook? And I know I had tripolymer on one and I had fluorocarbon on the other. So I picked up the fluorocarbon one and used it more and got better hook sets. But now, granted, I can't blame the line yet, because I was also, it's the beginning of the day, wasn't paying attention. I got this new graph that, I'm playing with my new forward-facing sonar, and there was quite a few of those first 2 or 3 hook sets where I was not paying attention. I wasn't ready, and I just didn't get that hook penetration. Now, I will also say this: when I switched to the fluorocarbon, I caught a donkey, and when I picked him up out of the boat and went to pull the hook out of his mouth, it fell out. So got lucky there, but that was fluorocarbon. So I'm like on the fence, like.
Yes, so I've had much better luck going with any type of polymer to a fluorocarbon leader on Carolina rig. That's just my go-to. It always works. I never have a problem. And, that way you get a little bit of stretch. You're not putting a lot of stress on that leader. Let's face it, every time you tie a knot, that's another place for a problem to happen.
I feel your point. Yep, exactly.
So, that takes all that stress away. But yet, depending on how long the leader you have, you still get that good hook set from the leader to the actual fish itself. So that's just my go-to on a Carolina rig. That's what I use, and I've been using it for years like that. I mean, let's face it, 25 years ago, we didn't even have fluorocarbon, and we didn't have any trouble catching fish back then. So,
right, yeah, we're using mono. So
yeah.
And then braids that was, remember spider wire when it first came out?
Yeah.
Spider wire. I remember being a kid shopping at the tackle store and seeing spider wire, and I thought that was the neatest thing in the world. I'm like, oh my God, spider wire. And then now, like, not trying to hate on spider wire.
Yeah.
I look back at what I can remember of the first versions of spider wire compared to the braid technology we have now, and that stuff was awful.
Yeah, it's like a goat hair around your reel.
Yeah, it was. It was like you might as well go pluck the beard out of a turkey and fish with that. So let me see. We got so many things to talk about tonight. I'm trying to find, there it is right there. So let's go here, pull this up, and make sure we got the right listing. Okay, so now before we get into this and I share and really get into this product, I want to give a tip, because we were talking about Carolina rig, and I got a tip, and you and I mentioned it before, and I love to tell people this anytime that I can. Anytime you're fishing the Carolina rig, it sucks when you tie it yourself, right? It's not horrible, but for somebody that's like, okay, I got to do the bead, and then I got to do the weight, and then I got to do the bead, and then put a bobber stop to protect the knot so the bead doesn't smash down the knot and break it, and then put the swivel, then put my leader, then do my hook, and then you break off and you lose it all, and you got to do it all over again. That sucks. So my recommendation, and I believe you're on the same page, is run a heavier main line. And then, like for me, I throw a lot of 17-pound tests. We talked about that. Yeah. And then from my swivel, so I'll have my bead, my sinker, then I'll put my bead, and then I'll put like a bobber stop to protect that knot from smacking constantly against the knot and against the swivel. Then I'll go to like 15-pound test line, whether it's fluoro, polymer, whatever you want. Go slightly less, so that way if you are going to break off, you lose the hook, a leader line, and I will keep a pack of leader line with me and retie. So I'm only doing a hook and not losing, especially if you're using tungsten. You know what I
Yes.
mean? If you're using a tungsten weight, that is expensive.
Yeah.
But you get into half ounce to 1 ounce
Yeah.
tungsten.
Another good tip for that too, AJ, is go ahead and tie up some swivels with your leader, with your hook, because you might have a foot of leader and they're just not biting, and you need a foot and a half. So I have a box with different length leaders already on there. My hooks are already on it. My swivels are already on it. So now I just got to tie one knot and I'm back out there casting.
And that's another argument too. Like when I said I was missing those fish, I was actually throwing about a 3-foot leader on that first rig. And then I shortened it up to about a 2.5 to 2-foot leader and started. I just hooked up the rest of the day. And it was fantastic. So that is another great point too. So you actually got me thinking. I'm going out again this weekend, and I never thought about tying preloaded setups. You know what I mean? So I might do that. I might actually have that ready to go. But all right. So we're talking fluorocarbon. This is our fluorocarbon classic. So if you're looking to save some money and not go into you got to look at it this way. Every brand of line out there, ladies and gentlemen, has their high end, and they have their more economical. Now, just because it's economical doesn't mean it's cheap. It's more affordable for you to buy, but there's still a quality product. Now, granted, there's got to be a difference in quality, that you are charging more for it. But if you're looking for a very legit line, and I know that you said you really like this line, the Covert Classic. You do like this line a lot. So don't shy away from the Covert Classic. I really like, this is my favorite Premier line, but I actually happen to be in a position where I get a really good deal on this stuff, guys. So, I mean, if you're in the market to where you needed I can buy maybe 2 packs of these for what I'm spending on these, go for the Covert Classic all day long. It's still going to be very translucent. And that's the difference too between copolymer and mono versus fluoro. This stuff is pretty much invisible under the water. They just can't see it compared to, say, mono and other lines out there. So this is just as invisible as this.
Correct.
I mean, you really got to think about that. It's fantastic stuff. Now, you have some other properties and qualities and durability things that set your price difference. And then, of course, it also comes down to quality control that can set price differences too. But, guys, right here, we've got a 20% off coupon on the Covert Classic. You and I have discussed some really great qualities about fluorocarbon. For those that don't know, fluorocarbon sinks. Mono tends to float. Copolymer and tripolymers are kind of in that middle range. The neutral polymers that we have amazing characteristics to where it acts like a fluorocarbon and it acts like a mono. It's a weird hybrid, and it's really hard to explain. And I almost like having Rex around. He's our engineer in line because he explains it better than anybody can. I mean, he kind of designed this stuff, so he should know, right? But if you're looking for an affordable fluorocarbon that is flat, great stuff, Covert Classic, just make sure you click on that 20% off coupon, right? That's the kicker right there that you really have to pay attention to. Now, KastKing Covert Extreme, right there. You see it pop up because it's almost like I bought it off Amazon before. Who knows? So this stuff right here, let's click on it. The Covert Extreme. I adore this stuff. Here's my sample spool for the show. I've got it unloaded. You and I were talking about it. I just loaded up one of my Carolina rig rods with this yesterday, and it was the rod that I caught the majority of my donkeys on yesterday. It's good stuff. I love this extreme stuff. This is my premier line. This is the line that I'm showcasing throughout my fishing year under this one. That's the line that I'm going to show the most. That's my favorite line. I still use this. I drop shot with it. I still flip with it. I have it when I need it. But I do love the Extreme. It is my favorite. You and I were talking about that, and it's available at a ton of different options from 50 yards, 25 to 200 yards. Right here is my banger. I use the 17-pound the most, and I use 12 and 15 the most. I don't use a lot of 20, 25. To be honest with you, I don't use anything over 20 unless I'm catfishing. Then I'll tie a 25-pound leader of fluorocarbon. So that way I like that clear, translucent, just that one more element to where I'm not going to do it. And again, like we were talking about on leaders, it'll break off. I'll use 65-pound braid or 80-pound braid on a catfish pole, and then a 25-pound leader. If I get hung up, snagged, and break off, we're good to go. But this stuff, This is your tournament grade, your really high end, fantastic line. I'll be truthful with you. This is great product in this cool spool for everybody else that's like just keeping it in a little case and they need to pull some off for leader line or they're going to restring it themselves. This is really cool because you put it in a box and it keeps the line from flopping around in this case. Me personally, I've got the V10 rod rack, the LS rod rack for spooling station, and I wish this was on this normal spool like the braid that I've shown because that's easier for me to spool up. But this stuff works fantastic. I adore it. So guys, make sure you're checking out the fluorocarbon. Great product. Super good deal on it. So let's go to a 200-yard spool. In the competition, a 200-yard spool of tournament grade fluorocarbon is going to run you almost double this price for 200 yards of tournament grade red label or your favorite other brand out there. This is great stuff. It's what I use on all my flipping, and I use a lot of clear line for flipping. A lot of other people use braid in your area for sure. I fish a lot of clear lakes, and I like to have that clear line. And I even flip structure a lot with it. So it's done me well.
Well, the line of choice this past weekend was 17-pound fluoro right there, that Covert Extreme.
Yeah. So Devin Cartwright says he uses 20 to 25 for pitching and flipping and light cover. I don't hate. I know that's what a lot of people do. Me personally, I think it changes the characteristics. And this isn't any brand. It changes the characteristics of the way that bait acts. And it's just real wiry. So for me,
absolutely.
Yeah,
there's been times where, I'll throw 17 and go down just to a 15 and notice a huge bite window difference. Me and you would think, why is that making a difference? And it's just that little bit of subtleness. We both know that's both clear. You can't see it, but it's just the way that bait falls. The fall rate is different. And your action is different, And when I mean action, you're going, well, I'm just throwing a Cinco. It doesn't have any action. Well, yes, it does. Yeah. You pull that Cinco up and it goes back down. It has action.
Now, Devin, don't get me wrong. We're not beating you up, buddy. We're just sharing our opinions. So, and we have our reason for it. But I mean, if that's working great for you and you're not breaking off, pigs and you're yanking them in, because you're definitely not breaking off fish as much as I'm breaking off fish at 17 pounds and you're rocking the 20-25. So you're definitely getting them to the boat more often. I'm just saying I prefer a lighter line for action.
100%.
Things of that nature.
Yeah.
So
my point is, just the difference between a 17 and a 15 can make that much difference.
I drop shot with 8-pound braid. 8-pound fluoro. Sometimes I'll do 10, but usually if I'm doing fluoro, I like 8-pound fluorocarbon.
I'll give you a quick
worm act totally different.
Quick story. Fishing St. Lawrence River in Canada, a smallmouth tournament. I had 10-pound fluoro. JT Kenny had 8-pound fluoro, and he was waxing me. 2 pound difference. Same bait, same leader, same weight, same everything. Went to 8-pound, that much difference. Just the different action and how that bait falls and what it does.
It makes a big difference. I completely agree with you. You and I are totally on the same page. So now, speaking of pages, let's go to a new Instagram page. Man, I can't speak tonight. Let's go to a new Amazon page, and we're going to talk about the bait capsules. Okay, so that's not a new product for KastKing. We came out with the bait capsule. It was a big buzz at ICAST last year. People were coming by to check this thing out, and they adored it. Now, I had the pleasure of coming up with talking to Al Norker. He came into Arizona, the gentleman, former president and CEO of the U.S. market for KastKing. And that dude has designed some killer products for us, right? Well, one of them was this bait capsule. It was his brainchild. And he was showing me the prototypes before they came out. And I thought that was fantastic. And I thought to myself, where that would really excel, because it's great especially for keeping hooks from snagging clothes, keeping hooks from snagging you, keeping hooks from snagging animals and everything else around. In rod lockers, I can't tell you how frustrating it is that you know as well as anybody that's got a boat with a rod locker or even in the back of a pickup, those hooks grab everything and it's just a nightmare. Put a rod sock in the mix and it's even worse. How many times have you fought with a rod sock? You end up tearing up the rod sock a little bit because you get frustrated, you're in a hurry, and you just powered that thing through, and now you've yanked a big old piece of that plastic rod sock hanging there. It's just not fun. So these bait capsules, you can actually put your bait in there and it protects your bait from hooking anything. Well, I do finesse. I pick up a fairy wand quite a bit and I drop shot. And we don't have a bait capsule for a drop shot. And I started telling Al, we got to do a bait capsule for a drop shot. And he was like, I don't know if it'll work. I don't know how we would design it. How would we fix it to a rod? Blah, blah, blah. And we went to work that day. At first, he was a little reluctant because it's kind of complex. We got to see how this one launches and how it does. And we launched it, and it went crazy. It went well. So he started playing around with the design of the drop shot stuff that him and I, throughout the day of fishing, he started opening up a little more. Like, you know what? I hear you. I see what you're saying. Now I'm starting to get some ideas. Okay. And so we threw some ideas back and forth. So this right here, I'm super proud of it because I had a lot of influence on this. And now it's finally to market right here. This is the drop shot bait capsule. Okay. I don't know if you guys can see it. It is perforated. So you have all these holes that will allow your bait to dry, and it won't store and hold water in there. It will air dry, and that will help reduce any kind of rusting thing like that. You also have a little, if you choose to use it, you don't have to put your hook in there, but you can set your hook in there. I Texas rig a lot of my drop shot because I fish a lot of suspended structure and things like that. So they'll take you right in. I hate getting snagged. I hate dragging a drop shot and then get snagged. And super light line like we were talking about. I don't like breaking off as much. So I Texas rig to kind of keep it good. But for your normal traditional nose hook drop shot, that is perfect. You have a slot in the top for the line to pass through. But on this model, you have a slot in the bottom. I don't know if you guys can see that focus. Let's see if I can get it to focus. Right about there. You can kind of see that little hole on both sides that allows your line to pass through. And now you can have your drop shot worm in here. Your tag line comes out with your sinker and you fix it to your drop shot holder. But how do you attach it to the rod? You have these little channels. So the other capsules, as you can see, we'll go ahead and share the screen right now. Let me share this. Go here. By the way, thank you for hanging in there, Robert. I know you've had a busy
I'm good.
hanging in there, but these are our normal hook, our bait capsules, and you can see like we've got a frog in there. There's one thing at the top where the line passes through, and then of course you can hook it to an eyelet. You can hook it to your reel, whatever you need to do. But drop shot creates a different challenge. And that's why we came up with this design, and it's finally available now. So here is one of my setups with, yes, the drop shot holder that I've used this weekend. Check that out. So now here is, look at it, no more rod sock problem. Now, granted, this one's a little bit shorter, but I have some longer ones that will come over, and I'm always snagged and hooked. I mean, you could probably see there's a multitude of, I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but I've got snags and nicks in this line or this rod sock from where I've snagged it quite a bit. But there's your pass through, okay? And then right here is your tag end. So your sinker still goes on your drop shot holder right there, right? So there's your drop shot style hook holder. I just clip my weight in there, and it's no longer is that, because if you just put your hook on the bottom of this, now you have this tag line. And it's getting snagged up in other reels. It's getting wrapped around crap, and it's the same problem you had with hooks. So it's awful. This eliminates all of that. And you can easily pop it off your rod. So it pops off easily. As you can see, you open it up and you're back in business. Time to put it away and store it. Put your line in, pass it through, and then you're just going to snap it to the beam of your rod. That right there, for anybody that uses a fairy wand, quite a bit. This is a dream come true. I power shot, and I think a power shot is a totally underestimated technique. I'm telling you, the power shot is, and all a power shot is a heavy duty drop shot. It's really all it is. So, but also if you're going to finesse this guy right here, you've got to pick up a couple bait capsules. So we're going to go ahead and give some of those away, but we're going to do that for the rebroadcast. So we'll do two giveaways, two more. One will be of the bait capsules, and then we'll also have one more giveaway coming up here in a minute. Guys, check this out. These guys are on Amazon right now, available. They're also on our website, KastKing.com, but you're going to get stellar deals on Amazon. That's where you're going to find the best deals. 20% off the traditional manufacturer suggested retail price, but there's also a combined 10% coupon if you click it before you add it to cart. That's going to give you 30% off the traditional price right there, guys. This is a no-brainer. There's 4 in a pack. If you guys drop shot or power shot, you got to get it. And if you're not drop shotting, you're not cheating. I mean, you're not fishing right. So, because drop shotting is like throwing a Cinco at times. It's cheating, right? I mean, it is. Like Cinco, you're going to get bit on a Cinco, and you're going to get bit on a drop shot if you're doing it right. So that's killer deal right there, guys. I'm super proud of it. I had a lot of influence on it. So, and that's my baby. I love it. So, all right. We've made a dent in this list. We have. But we got a bunch more. How you faring, Robert? You're gonna have to take off and go take care of some things.
Doing good.
All right, because now we're gonna get into. Let's get over here. We've got a whole bunch of optics for you guys, and when I mean a whole bunch, I mean a whole bunch. This is literally a box stacked to the gills. So we'll just go through it, and we've already been on for an hour and 15 minutes. So I'm going to try to spend maybe 10, 15 minutes on this because I understand our viewers' time is very important and my guests' time is very important. So let's get after it. Okay, let's go, guys. Hang in there. We're going for it. All right. So we're going to open up the first one, and this one is I'm going to have to look because, like I said, I got a big list of them. So let's go here. This is saw the product number right there. All right, let's find it. So this is let's find them here. Bear with me, guys. So while I'm looking for up this product code so I can show the people, because I've got like 10 pairs at least to show everybody. Why is sunglasses when fishing important in your opinion?
Well, there's several occasions. Number one, like we were doing this past weekend, looking for bedfish. I didn't need them while I was fishing, but if you're looking for bedfish, you don't have a good pair of glasses, you're not going to find bedfish whatsoever. Number two is when you get my age, you still want to be able to see after you've been fishing for so many years. So if you don't have a good set of optics while you're fishing in the sun every day, you're not going to be able to see when you get my age. So, and that's probably the most important thing. Different colors come into play, different color water, different color glasses, mirrored, non-mirrored, again, different situations, different pair of glasses, but they got to be a good pair of glasses.
Now, when you say you got to be able to see, you definitely got to be able to see, but what's crazy is that what he's talking about is that polarized action, the UV protection, canceling out certain UVA, UVB, and then, of course, being able to see, because that polarization on the water will actually create that mirror effect on traditional lenses or on your eyes, and you just can't see. It creates a reflection. Well, when you have that polarization deleted, blocked out, UVA, UVB, you can actually see into the water more. It's literally like having X-ray vision. So that's a really cool feature. Another cool thing that's super important about optics and eyewear. So if you don't wear glasses at all, you just have perfect vision, unlike me, you can go out to the water and you can see, you're fine. You get snagged, you're fishing with somebody else, and a hook or a weight goes flying through the air. These guys right here can be a bullseye, and that's the last thing you want. We've all seen those crazy pictures on Instagram or on Facebook where somebody's got a hook in the eye or they take a sinker to the eye and cause damage. You at least want a layer of protection of some sort to keep you from getting hit. Another thing to think about too when you're looking for glasses, I like to look for glasses that have, when I'm fishing, sunglasses that have a big beam on the side to block out the haters as well as the sun rays coming in from this side, because you want to be able to really X-ray in if you're sight fishing, especially. And you did a lot of sight fishing, I'm sure, this past week. So that's super important to be able to focus on what's in front of you.
Yes, well, and you can do a quick test for those of you who have never done it. Just take your regular glasses, put them on, walk out to a pond, walk out anywhere and put them on, look in the pond, and then put on a pair of these glasses and look in the pond. you'll see like X-ray vision. Big difference.
Now, here's a cool product that KastKing came out with, and I'm super happy that they've done this. So I actually have not worn a lot of the KastKing sunglasses, and I get a ton of them. So they end up going to friends, they go to family members and things like that. And I'm over here rocking a pair of Spy sunglasses because I have to get them prescription because I can't see. If I take off my glasses and put on KastKing glasses that allow me to see in the water, that's great. But they don't do anything for the blurriness and my stigmatism and everything else. So I'm like, well, yeah, I'm robbing Peter to pay Paul. This sucks. So unfortunately, these last couple of years, I've been having to rock my Spies and spend extra money to get prescription glasses, right? Because they're the name brand that people actually work with. Well, here is a super low investment, true polarized glasses that these are actually intended, as you can see for the picture, they actually fit over. Check that out. So if I don't want to go spend $300, and yes, guys, with my insurance, that's what I paid for a set of Spies with prescription lenses with everything I needed. $300, $300 pair of sunglasses on top of normal glasses. That's expensive. So for the first time in my life, this is true. I'm not even kidding. I can see perfect right now. And I'm wearing KastKing sunglasses. And these things actually are stupid comfortable. Like this is genuinely a first impression, and this is pretty cool. I could actually wear these glasses, and then if I need to actually, like, you know what, the shade's causing a problem, pull it off, and I still got my peepers and good vision, and then I do this. It's fantastic. So if you guys aren't in the market to go out there and buy prescription sunglasses, and there's quite a few of our clientele out there that aren't in that position, that don't have good insurance or have insurance but not optical coverage, and can't go out and fork out $500-$600 for non-insurance coverage of a pair of prescription sunglasses, we got you covered. Now, here's one thing that I will do with these sunglasses that I will not do with my Spies. Yeah, I mean, that's insane. I'm not going to do that with my prescription Spies. No way, no how. So that's that Grill Lad frame that's going to allow these things to be very robust, very durable, not break if you sit on them or yank them around. That's cool. So if you guys are looking for a quick pair of sunglasses that's going to give you that polarization so you could see those fish and protect your eyes, because as you can see, you got that big beam that's going to block out a lot of the light from the side, you're good to go, bro. You're good to go. That's pretty sick. That's actually really cool right there. And then, of course, as you can see, 30% off, guys, on these frames. And you've got a multitude of different lenses to choose from. Like you said, lenses can make a difference. And if you're after just a fashion look for it, you've got quite a few to choose from and different frame options. That's pretty slick. That's pretty slick. That's a great idea, in my opinion. So, guys, check that out. Okay, so that is the Cheriton frames, okay? So we're moving along. So, okay. Let me put these away. I better just take a minute because I'm going to be spending 45 minutes after the show just socking up sunglasses. But I got to set these aside because I'm going to keep a pair of these in the boat just in case I ever forget my prescription sunglasses. I've got it covered. Or if somebody gets on my boat that wears prescription lenses and forgot their glasses, bro, I got you covered. These are dope. Okay. These aren't going to family members. I'm going to keep some of these. All right, moving on. Let's go to the next set of lenses or sunglasses. This is the Chippewas. So let's find Chippewas in our list and pull them up. Hey, you got any shout outs or anybody you want to talk to or say hello to? Or how can people find you while I'm getting this ready?
Robert Branagh Fishing on Facebook. They can find me or on Instagram, you know. I'm not much of a blogger, but I do post quite a bit of stuff. I kind of do some instructional stuff on there, knot tying and so on and so forth. I don't do a lot, but just when I do come across something that's out of the ordinary, I will post it. Yeah.
Nice.
Shout out. How about a shout out to all the KastKing team?
Yee! Well, we appreciate that. Love it, love it, love it. So I'm actually going to show you guys a quick trick real quick now that I got these Chippewas undone. Now, these are crazy. UV 400 protection. That's big timing right there. Now, these ones, they won't fit over your glasses like the other ones will. I mean, I'm sure you can force it, but as you can see, I'm already kind of like, they stick out a mile. So that you can see the difference on having that frame that's designed to slip over. But let's say you are you just need a really big lens. It's going to suck up. Dude, these are actually really cool right here. I like the way these fit. If I didn't wear normal frames and I could see perfect, I'd be rocking these guys in no time. And again, you got that Grill Lad technology, so you can be able to really flex these guys out. But if you're wanting to say, hey, how do I know if I already have a good set of polarized lenses? Or there's that guy that just came back from Mexico and he's got those Folkleys that he's trying to peddle on you, and he's telling you that they're high quality UV lenses. How can you tell? Well, get another pair of sunglasses that you know for a fact is a UV lens or UV protected, and here's how you can tell. So on my camera, you guys can see me, right? You can kind of see me. I know there's a glare, but you can see me, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Now, take and put another set of lenses there, and I disappear. So when you take your lenses side by side and you put them together, you actually cross that UV protection, it goes black. You can't see through them. So when because they work on like a line system, the way that UV protection is. And so when you cross them, you're actually blocking out all the layers of vision that way. So if you've got two lenses that you're not sure if they're UV lenses or one that you're not sure is, take one pair of frames that you know is and cross that lens. And if it don't go black, it's not UV. So that's just a cool little trick for the boys and girls out there to figure out, hey, are my lenses actually UV lenses? So cool little thing. So that right there, guys, check that out. That's the Chippewa UV 400 protection, which is a crazy good protection. They are super lightweight, super thin. They're a tactical lens. So you're good for that. It's going to help for bicycling, fishing, hiking, hunting. These are going to be a great quality product for you. Like I do a lot of mountain biking. These would be fantastic. Flying across the lake what size outboard do you have?
Well, I run a Falcon 20-footer with a 250 Pro XS Mercury on it.
Okay, so that thing kind of gets up and scoots, right? Would you say you can hit 65, 70?
It runs 70 pretty regularly.
Okay, so I've got an old Johnson 150. Paid off Mafia.
Good
right?
motor.
It's not a bad motor. And let me tell you too, this is an OMC Johnson 150 made in America, not up there in Canada with old Justin Trudeau. Oh, sorry. But anyway, but nothing against BRP. They make great stuff. But old school OMC Johnson, still kicking it. I do about 55, 60 when I'm downhill, going downhill, the wind in my back, light mode.
Downhill in the water, you're in trouble, buddy.
No way, man. I go downhill. That thing flies, bro. It's kicking it. It's picking up speed. But my point is, even like if I'm wearing glasses like these little guys, it's dark, whatever, I'm going to get wind under them, right? And at 50 miles an hour, 55 miles an hour, I don't care who you are, you're going to tear up. And then you're going to get a bunch of water in your eyes, and that's going to kill your vision. Another great pair of frames for whether you're cycling, flying across the water, or just protecting your eyes from debris. These guys are great. Then that UV 400 technology, super thin Grill Lad frames. And like we were talking about, here's all those different lenses we were talking about and frame colors to choose from. So you have look at those clear ones. That reminds me of the 90s. Remember the old 90s volleyball days? Like that's similar to that stuff the baseball players rock. Yeah, totally. I mean, there's some good looking frames. So look at that one's got some chartreuse on the back there on the earpieces, rubberized coating. So guys, we surely have a design in the lineup that's going to work out great for you. Plus, they do come with these lint-free socks for storage, as well as for keeping the lens clean. So check those guys out. Those are on special for you. We're going to keep banging through. Guys, we got a lot to go through. I'm sorry. Hang in there. You know what I mean? Hang in there. I run 10-foot Pelican kayak with a quarter-horse paddler until I get tired. All right. I don't know why that one caught my attention. I wanted to see it. Of course, I don't have my glasses on. Did you see how close I had to get to the screen to read it? I'm like, where is that? So, all right. Put them away. Like I said, if I don't, I will never be able to know what lenses I have here. So, great. I got two out. I got to read what this is. This one right here should be the Chippewas. Yes. Okay. I didn't get them out of place. Got to stay
I got to spool up for this weekend. Does anybody have a couple questions? I can answer two quick questions.
Yeah, let's take some questions real quick. Has anybody got any questions for Rob before I turn him loose? Now's a great time. Let's get it going. Let's see here. Well, it'll take a minute for the questions to feed in. Guys, if you got questions for Rob, what's his favorite bait? What's his favorite rod? What's his favorite reel? What was his trick? Let it fly. What's his favorite food after winning a tournament? Does he have a cheat food? So, okay, here we go. First one popping up. Creed Garner Fishing's busting it out for you. Here is your first one. It is go-to cold front bait or lure. What are you using?
Okay, go-to cold front bait or lure is I'm going to downsize. I'm going to slow it way down, or my number one go-to is a jerk bait.
Okay. Now, do you have a particular color? Or do you depend?
No, it all depends on water color, what time of the year, because down here, we can get a cold front any time of the year. When I say cold front down here, it's not really a cold front, but you got to remember, Florida fish, if the water temperature changes 5 degrees, they lock down. They don't do much at all. So I actually like throwing a Megabass Junior 110. It dives down. You can control it depending on your line weight. You can control it down to 1 foot, to 2 foot, to 3 foot, depending on your retrieval, and that will definitely get you bit on a cold front.
All right. Now, here's another one. Boom. Do you ever go lighter than 8 pounds for drop shot? I don't know if you drop shot much. I can answer that if you don't want to answer that. But
you can answer that one. I don't need enough to answer that question.
Have you ever seen a drop shot?
Yeah,
no, you're all not on my boat, but yeah, I've seen them. So that's like asking Cliff Crochet if he drop shots. He has no idea. So, but yeah, I mean, totally. I do. I've gone as light as 4 pounds. It also depends on what I'm fishing. Like if you're in an area with a lot of structure, a lot of trees, a lot of sticks, a lot of debris, you're going to hang up, especially if you hook into a fish that wants to run on you. The first thing he's going to do as soon as he realizes something's wrong and he's hooked, he's going to run for cover. He's going to run and try to get away and protect himself. Just like, shots fired, what are we going to do? We're going to try to get and hide behind something. That's the same thing they're going to do. And that means dragging your line into some trees, rocks, whatever. So the lighter line you go through, the more that bait is going to be amazing in the water column. So if you're throwing like a robo worm or a little bitty like minnow style bait, your action is going to be more true to what it was designed to do with lighter line. But the lighter line you go, the better chances of losing that fish, breaking off early and easily, and things like that. Light line will also have an effect on rod strength too. So if you're using a rod that has a little bit more of a backbone and you're rocking 6 pound test, a lot of your hook sets, you're going to possibly break your line, and it's going to break at the knot or at a fray. So that's something to keep into perspective. So I like to throw 8 to 10 pound fluorocarbon quite a bit, or you can throw a braid to leader kind of concept. So if I'm like out there just catching, let's say I'm in a pond, let's say I'm in an urban pond, it's concrete bottom, I'm fishing a golf course or something, or somebody's cool pond at their apartment complex or something, because that's where a lot of people are fishing. You know what I mean? A lot of these fish too are going to see everything under the sun thrown at them in, like, say, an urban pond, because they got a million people throwing the Chuck Woolery special lure from the 80s at them, and they've seen 100 spinner baits. They've seen 100 lipless. They need to see something that's going to act a little different. Well, if that pond doesn't have a lot of structure to it, that's a perfect time to throw a 6 pound test or something like that and get your bait to just move a little more action that they've seen before. So that's where I would throw a lighter line than 8 pound. But 8 pound is just that sweet spot. You're going to get bit just about everywhere you go with 8 pound and still have a decent tensile strength to get them to the boat. So, or the bank, or the truck, fishing on the back of the truck, or a kayak. So, but all right. So any more questions? Let's throw another question at you and then we'll turn you loose. Let's see here. Okay, here's a great one. What size spinnerbait were you slow rolling in your win on Okeechobee?
Well, I'd like to tell you I was throwing a spinnerbait, but I wasn't. I was actually throwing a speed worm.
Okay.
On a 3/16 tungsten weight, 7.2-to-1 mega jaws reel. And I was slow rolling enough just to barely tick the rocks. If you reeled it too slow, you were going to get hung up. You had to break off. or go over the top of it, ruin the spot. You had to get that right retrieval back where you were just barely ticking the top of those rocks, and that was the key. If I was to throw a spinnerbait down here in Florida in that same situation, I would probably be throwing a 3/8 ounce where I could slow it down because those fish were spawning, and I needed to bring it by them slower, more so than bring it by them faster.
Okay. I was actually going to ask you if you were going to throw a spinnerbait, what was it? And you went right into it. So you've done this before.
Yeah.
So, all right. Now, do you agree that Waffle House is the only correct answer for a victory meal?
Hate to say it, but no. Mine is buffalo wings.
Really?
Buffalo
Okay.
wings is the choice of foods after a victory.
Now, if you didn't know, Adam Robinson is the gentleman that
I know. I remember Adam. Yep.
Okay. I was going to say, that's your boy right there. So
But I do love Waffle House.
Okay. All right. Let's see if we got one more good question in there, and we will call it a night for you. So let's see here. Do we have any more questions that apply to you? Let's see. I don't see any more questions for you. Let me see here. I'm not sure if this applies to you or not. Let me see if this rings a bell for you. So, what do you use for brakes? And I'm imagining he's trying to say, like, do you have a certain, and that's a hard setting. So, because the brakes on the Mega Jaws that you used, the cork handles, that's a magnetic braking system. So you just have an adjustment on the outside. So do you have anything that would pop to mind? Yeah. Every lure weight and action reel, it's all different. Wind makes a difference, things to that nature.
It's all different, but a real good starting point. How's that for the question? A good starting
Beautiful.
point. Let's say you get a reel with dual brake system. A real good starting point is I always run mine. If it's a 1 to 10 scale, I'll run it on 5. I'll open up the reel and I'll go every other on the internal brake for a good starting point. Now, of course, depending on weight, depending on rod, you got a quick whip rod, you got a stiff rod, there's just too many variables there. But that is a great starting point. Every other 5, take a couple easy casts and fine tune from there.
Perfect. Yep, you're a pro. You figured out a way to apply that answer to that question. So, Rob, dude, thank you so much. Do me a favor. Thank your wife for us for letting you come on here and hang out with us for an hour and 40 minutes. I mean, it's been a pleasure. Dude, you got an entire year. We're mid-February. You got 10 more solid months in front of you. Dude, I hope to see a couple more great finishes, if not a few more W's under your belt, man.
We're surely going to try. I promise you that.
And if you win another tournament on that cork-handled red Mega Jaws, dude, you gotta make a big post and just brag about that.
Yeah. I don't know. It might go in the case over here by the 2 trophies.
You might retire it after this one.
Might get retired.
Well, we got a couple of the reels we can put in front of you, so to let that one.
All righty.
I think it's done its job for $65. It's done its job.
Yep. And I'm telling everybody that they can do the same job with the the newer version of the KastKing Mega Jaws. It's an awesome reel. All their products are awesome, but you don't need to spend $400 on a reel to do the job. Yeah, you surely didn't. You spent $65 and you've made just a little under $200,000 with it. I mean, that's sheesh. Yep. It's good job, man. So, Well, to the whole KastKing team, I appreciate it. I enjoyed being on here, and hopefully I'll see you right around the corner with another win. Yes, sir. Well, you have a great night, Rob. Have a good one. Thank you. Robert Branagh, ladies and gentlemen. That dude, I tell you what, that guy's a stud, man. I mean, he's gone out there, $65. $65. And look at what it's netted him. That's insane. And it's not just netted him big money. It's netted him big fish, big trophies, just big time. And that's big. That's Rob Big Time Branagh right there. That's his new nickname. If you're still listening, Rob, that's you. You're Rob Big Time Branagh. That's your name right there. That's what I'm gonna call you from now on. So, all righty. So we're gonna move on because we still got some products to bang out, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys are watching this live,
We already did some giveaways. If you're watching the rebroadcast and you're not watching live, just know that you still have a chance to win some giveaways tonight. So make sure you're commenting in the comment section, and we're going to keep going. So what I've got here, and we've talked about the polarized lenses, how to tell good polarization. So we're going to try to go through this as quick as we can because I know you guys have been sticking it out for me, and I appreciate it. But I got a couple other cool things to show you. Got some promotions on rods and reels. And then we've got some new tackle accessory or storage to show you as well. And there's some neat one. I really like this new design that I'm going to get to here in a minute. So let's blast through these optics and have a good time. But these are super important. So here's what we got here. Now, this is not a grill lad frame technology, so you don't want to go crazy bending because these ones may break on you. But these are super awesome. These are going to be great for driving, for fishing, for cycling, for running, for hiking, for any outdoor adventure out there. This is a great polarized lens. So this one's kind of a translucent lens. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I can see through this one. I can see a little bit. It's like a smoked frame. The lenses are smoked a little bit. But again, you have a ton of different options. That right there is one of my favorite color frames there. It's got like a kind of like it's a hard description, but I really like that frame. If I had that frame with a smoke lens, but the blue lens is great too. But this is such a cool system right here in these raccoon polarized KastKing glasses. You've got a ton of different options, different frames. This one's going to suck up to your face really well. It's not a huge lens. If you don't like a huge lens, this is going to be more your style. It's still going to block out the sides for you. This is going to be great for fishing. Great for protecting your eyes while you're screaming down the lake in the boat, jet ski, whatever it may be. If you're driving, riding a motorcycle, cycling, this is going to keep that out of your eyes. It's going to protect you while still protecting you from UVA, UVB, and it is just a stellar product. This is the KastKing Raccoon Polarized Sports, right? Okay, so what I'm going to do to make this a little bit easier and go through it a little quicker. We already know that they're polarized. We already know that they're going to protect your eyes. So we'll just go through the actual new frames. And remember, when you add all these to your cart, make sure you click on that coupon because all of these are on sale. Click that coupon and keep going. So we're going to bang them out and we're going to get to them. Okay. So here's the next set that we're going to go to. Let's look at it. These guys are the Tarkios. Okay, so let me pull that one up right quick. Where is the Tarkio? You guys hang in there. Hang in there. Let's look at comments right quick. See anybody going on? Yeah, guys, hang in there. We got some deals. There's the Tarkio. Found it. All right, let's pull this up. We're going to share this screen real fast. And let's pull the Tarkio up. So this is kind of gangster. This is some new age. This looks like a set of lenses my boy Travis Hunter would be wearing. This reminds me of some of the old 90s, like volleyball style setup, or even like your baseball players back in the 90s, or even still, because guys are rocking it. Oh, my zipper. You guys ever have problems with the Ziploc style bags just not opening? This one's giving me that problem right now. I've had it with all kinds of Ziploc bags before, but this one's giving me, so I'm tearing that one up. We got them out. Dude, check these guys out. I think my son's going to be rocking these. These look like the kind of glasses he wears right here. Check them out. So if you're looking for a big lens, that new loud but cool shape, dude, check these dudes out, right? Those are pretty sick right there. And then, of course, you got just your standard beam frame. These are great. Dude, beautiful, beautiful. And these ones are going to share that Grill Lad technology, so you can flex the crap out of these things. These things are stellar. I like these. Okay, so these ones put a big smile on my face, kind of like those other ones that slide over your glasses. So these are cool, guys. Add that coupon, $40 to these. These ones are a little bit more expensive, but they are trendy as can be, and they've got quite a few different frames, options, and lenses to them. But I'm really liking like this gold color right here that we're seeing. That is it's pretty snazzy. So check those out. That is the Tarkio lenses and frames. These are cool. I'm actually setting these aside. I'm gonna show these to my son and see if he wants these ones. So that's the funny part, is like anytime I get a big shipment of glasses, I got people in line going, all right, show's over. What do I get to wear? So this is This is definitely going to be going towards my son, so I'm going to set that aside for him. All right, now we're moving on, guys. We're going to bang through them. Hi, B-Man. How you doing? Yes, Bass Bros. KastKing sunglasses. Make some with interchangeable lenses. Ah, okay. That is very relevant. That is a great idea, Melissa Justice. I can definitely get on board that. I'll have to tell that to Scott. So let's go with the this next one. Let's jump over here back to my scale. This is the, pull this up real fast, share this tab. All right, so this is the Wakama, right? The Wakama frame. So this is more of a traditional style glasses. They're coming in around $50, $44, but you get a discount. Only 4 options of frames and 4 smoke lenses, but these are also a bifocal lens. That's one reason why they are going to go up in price. Now, you will have different spectrums of power. So let's go ahead and show that to you. So you have a 1.5, a 2.0, and a 2.5. So this is for people, I hate to say it because I have not gone back and seen my optometrist in a while, but he told me the next time I come in and the way my eyes look, my next set of frames are probably going to have bifocal lenses in there. So this is pretty cool because there are times where I'm sitting here trying to tie a knot and I can't see, but I'm looking right here and there are sometimes things that I can't see, but under my bifocals, I get closer. Holy cow. Yeah, SRA032832, which let me put my normal lenses on and see. Okay, yeah, I can't read that right there. There we go. 5RA032832. So that's crazy because there's times where I'm tying hooks and I can't see and I'm doing this number where that different bifocal, depending on what you need, and I hate to say it, but I'm going to have to go get my eyes checked and find out what magnification I need, whether it's the 1.5, the 2.0, or the 2.5. I don't want to lose this. That right there is for my Garmin, my brand new live scope that I need to register. So check those out, guys. Little heavier price tag on them, but you still get 30% off when you apply the coupon. Make sure you take the time to pick out whether you want a 1.5, a 2.0, or 2.5 bifocal or reader to them. So that is those right there in the Wakamas. So those are cool. All right. And they also they've got that grill lat frame. Look at that. So that's a banger right there. Okay. So these are cool. These are with readers. Okay. So I'm going to set this aside and I'm going to go through this. All right. Come on. We're back in there. This one actually I didn't pay attention to magnification. That's 2.0. I'm wondering if I need like a 1.5 magnification. We'll find out as it gets closer today and we bang down this list. So, all right, let's go here. All right, put that in the box. Dude, ladies and gentlemen, those of you that are still sticking around, this is a lot to go through. I understand. Thank you for sticking in here. So let's go through it. All right, let's just bang through these and you guys can check out the prices yourself as we get to them. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing. I'm going to have to do this for the speed of the show. I'm going to have to just tell you what these are and what qualities they have. So this is going to be I probably need those bifocals right now. This is the Cheriton. Okay. So this set of lenses and frames, they're really cool. Check them out. Let's see here. These guys are also going to be, they're going to go over again. So we've already covered these guys right here. These are going over the frame glasses. So these guys will actually slide over your prescription glasses most. If you've got some big old windshield glasses, granted, these aren't going to cover it, but yet this is the smoked or the darker finish in those frames that slide over being the Cheriton. So let's move on to the next one. We're going to fly through these. Great show tonight, guys. It was long, though. Yeah, I know it's long. Hey, guys, I can't help what they send me to go through this, but I will have a conversation. Maybe we won't do 18 products next time. They normally don't do that. So that'll be my feedback to the sales team that we need to spread some of this out. So, but if you guys are bored, you can keep watching. We'll all get a pair for sticking around, right? So this set of frames, we got a new one. And these are going to be readers, okay? So these are readers. These are going to come in as the Tugaloos. So these are bifocal sunglasses. They are going to be UV protected, but they also will give you a different frame. And these are going to be Unilab technology, Grid Lab, and these are a +2. So they do have the bifocal, so you can see. They do have, you can see your frame technology. Very light earpiece area, very comfortable. They do thicken up right here, but they do also have the readers on the bottom, guys. 30% off is going to be on these. Definitely check them out. That is the Tugaloos right there. So, all right, with a bifocal, different color frame. So let me dig through and make sure I'm not repeating any because I don't want to waste your guys' time any more than we may possibly already have. So let's check and see what we got. So we got Tugaloos. Okay, I haven't showed the Molinos, and this is a fit over frames as well. So let's check these out and see how they look. These are going to be they're going to be UV protected. They're going to fit over. They're going to be the Grill Lab technology. So these have a little bit different arm on them that I can see. They're still going to have a very similar frame. So if the other one, the ones I just showed you, they had a little bit of a female kind of vibe to them. This one right here is going to be more of a male style vibe. This will be more of a unisex, as you can see. So you could be female, still look good in these. You could be male, still look good in these. Whatever you want to feel that you are. Right there, boom, looking good, looking good. These guys fit over. These are going on my boat for sure. That's fantastic. You got that frame right there is killer. So that right there is the Molino fit over glasses. You still have that UV protection, but they're going to fit over your existing prescription glasses. So we're banging through them. Diane Yeckel says, I like them. Milton says, another over frame option. Yes, for sure. So that's going to go here. Set that there. Let's look for some of our repeats. Tugaloos. We already saw Tugaloos. We saw the Molinos. More Molinos. More Chippewas. We might be getting through the glasses and we can get into the rods and the tackle bags next. Tugaloos. All right. Okay, we're making some headway. Chippewas. Chippewa. Man, they sent me a bunch of Chippewas. Tugaloos. I think we're through them, ladies and gentlemen. The raccoons. Tugaloos. The Wakumas. Yes, we have made it through all the glasses, ladies and gentlemen. So, moving on. Okay, so let me show you guys the next list in our promotions. And I'm telling you, within the next 10 minutes, we will be wrapped up, guys. So thank you guys for hanging in there. Let's go to this, the next on our list. And you guys have seen it before. I know we're running into a 2-hour show. I said it was a 2-hour show. So let's get to it, guys, and let's finish it up. Okay, so we have a promotion right here. I want to show this to you guys. This is actually a great deal. Let me share this with you, and then we will wrap this up. So if you guys are looking for a great low investment rod, okay, so this is the Centron Light twin tip rod. So this is an IM6 blank, guys. Anytime you get into an IM6 blank or higher, you're getting into this high modulus graphite blank Teray carbon that is going to do fantastic for you, okay? So you have several layers of carbon. You have the graphite core. This is going to be trimmed out with ceramic ring inlets for your guides. You're going to have stainless steel feet for those guides. You're going to have a drop shot hook style keeper and an EVA style handle. So I happen to have both versions here, and I went ahead and took the liberty of putting the Centron Light bait caster on the Centron Light bait casting rod. And then, of course, I put a Centron Light spinning reel on the Centron Light rod. But that doesn't mean you guys have to. You can put whatever reel you want on your options. The cool thing is you've got those awesome ceramic rings that are going to be great for braid as well as your monofilament and your fluorocarbon and things like that. But God, look at how beautiful these rods are. Super comfortable style EVA grips. They're kind of a great EVA. You got the fighting butt. You do have the drop shot style hook holder right there. Going to be great for your bait capsules. They are available in both bait casting as well as spinning. Several different options to choose from 6 foot, 7 foot, 6'6", moderate fast, heavy action, medium heavy, all those good trims that you're looking for. You have a multitude of different actions. But the cool thing is this is a low investment system, right? Now, you have a couple different ways to save some money. If you guys were to put this on a payment plan with like Amazon, you can save $10 off that way. Or $60 rod, drop 10 bucks there. Or you can click and add 20% off and apply that coupon. And now you're getting this rod and reel setup for like 12 bucks cheaper than you normally would. That's going to drop this guy down into the 40 some odd dollar range. That's a sick deal to get an IM6 stainless steel guides with ceramic rings. You've got the drop shot style hook holder. This is a great combo. Really, this rod right here is just like the Royal Legend Pro rods that you guys love already. It's a white version of that. So if you like that purple, beautiful Royal Legend Pro rod, this is very similar rod to that in its characteristics, okay? Now, here's another great special, which we're going to bring up and show you guys right here that you guys can't beat and live without. If you guys are looking for a combo, a great combo, and then we'll get into that last tackle bag system. Where did it go? It is hiding from me. Trying to find it in here. I can't find it. Where are you at? Oh, there it is. I found it, guys. Okay, right there. I have a big spreadsheet, so you got to forgive me. So check this out. Let me share this tab with you instead. And this is killer, guys. This is the Spartacus 2. Oh, and the Centron Light shared the same thing. You got twin tips. So whether you get the Spartacus 2 that I'm talking about right now, or the Centron Light, they come with an extra tip. So let's say something happens and you lose it somehow. You break it, whatever. A ring falls out because you guys didn't, just bad luck happens to you, whatever. It's like having a secondary rod, because 90% of the time, anytime you break a rod, where do you break it? You break it up here. You break it there. And that rod is no good. We give you an extra tip. So if you end up breaking that tip, don't worry. You got a backup plan. We are basically giving you an insurance policy for free on these setups, whether it's the Spartacus 2 or the Centron Light. Same action. Now, there are different models out there where you can actually order a different action tip, but these are going to be the same action tip, whether it's medium, heavy, medium, moderate, fast, whatever it is. So we have that available in the Spartacus 2. Here we are again. IM6 blank. You got those ceramic inlets, stainless steel guides. But check this out. Let me grab those two combos. The new design Spartacus 2 rods have the cork handle, the rubberized cork handle. That's going to be super sensitive, just like what you grew up your whole life loving, those rubberized cork handles. But check out that hook holder. It's part of the reel seat. Okay, so your actual graphite reel seat is also your hook holder. Kind of a nifty design right there. So it's really cool. Then you have your choice of, you could either do a bait caster or a spinning reel, and these guys are going to be fantastic for you right here. Okay, so you can get these combos whether you want them in a 6'2", a 6'8", a 7'1", a 7'3", a 7'0", a 7'6". You have a multitude of different options to choose from in spinning and casting. Now let's scroll down and take a look at some of these stats, okay? So in the spinning, you've got a 7+1 Maxi Dur stainless steel shielded ball bearing. Then you also have a 5.2 to, I'm sorry, it's a Maxi Dur ball bearing. These are, I believe they are saltwater friendly. Then you have a 5.2 to 1 gear ratio and up to 22 pounds of drag. That is fantastic. That is a dope system. Now, in the baitcaster version, let's see if it'll show it. Let me roll up and click on the baitcaster. So like it shows, you've got the baitcaster version or that. But rather than try to sit there and find it, I believe the baitcaster is also a 7.2 to 1 ball or 7 to 1 ball bearing. Let's see here. So you're a 7.2 to 1 gear ratio. That's what I was trying to say a minute ago. But a ball bearing count, let's see if I can locate that one right there. It is still the 7+1 ball bearing. On this guy right here, you're going to be coming in about 17 pounds of drag. It is a triple disc carbon fiber drag, aluminum handle, and EVA comfort grip. So guys, these two combos or all the bells and whistles that you're looking for, under $100. But with this coupon that we've got going on right now, it's a killer deal. $100 is your normal price. Knock 20% off of that. That's $20 off, guys. That you're getting this combo $80. You're $80 for this combo. That's a great deal. IM6, fully loaded reel. This is going to be one of the combos that you're going to love, and they are fantastic in that Spartacus too, guys. So check those out. Whether you get the Centron rods with the twin tips or the Spartacus bait caster or spinning with twin tips, that's a good deal. So, yeah, Jeff, I agree. You need them. It is a great combo right there. It's phenomenal. So, guys, just one thing I can't emphasize enough right here. Click that 20% off coupon. If you don't, you're just going to flat out miss out on money. So, all right, guys, we're wrapping it up to our broadcast. Here's the last product I want to show you, and I'm going to give away one of these backpacks next week, okay? So let's find it right here. Let's find it. Where is it, guys? Let's grab it. So this backpack is super awesome. Where is it? Okay, right here. Woo, doggy. Found it. All right, so we're bringing it up. This is, why is that not on the list yet? Hold on now. It should be available. Okay, well, I'm going to show you a backpack that is going to be available very soon. It should have been on the list and already ready to go. It is in my list to show. Oh, wait a minute. Hold up. Let's see here. Let me double check to make sure I'm not showing you the wrong backpack. Apologize, guys, because you guys already saw how many products I have. My spreadsheet. Look at this. I'll share it with you so you guys can see. Yeah, that one. You can already see, guys, right here. I mean, I've got a lot of different line codes. You don't get to see a whole bunch of them. There's a ton in here to choose from. So let me just double check and make sure I'm getting the right one. That one's next week on those. That one's next week. That one's okay. So yeah, I didn't realize that they were packing in another week away of stuff. So we got some new products next week, guys, but it's not going to be as much as this week. So don't worry. Let's see. Was that an early shipment that they gave me? I think it was. I think I was about to show you guys. Well, I was. All right. So here's what I'll do. I'm going to wrap it up with you guys, but I'm going to give you a sneak peek of this new backpack. And I'm telling you right now, you guys are going to want to watch. Look at this. This backpack right here. Look at the color of it. Look at the scheme of that thing. I love the camo print. I love the options. It comes with a Merce. I won't show you the whole Merce. Comes with it. It comes with tackle boxes. It's got some really neat features. The way they lay it out on the inside, the back is fantastic. We're going to cover that in future shows. I truly thought in my spreadsheet this thing was packed in there. It's great. So, guys, stay tuned. Sneak peek. You guys got to see it. These backpacks are cool. I was saving them for last, and we're going to give one away coming up soon. But since they're not available for giveaway just yet, guys, let's see. Maybe make sure that I'm not. Oh, I'm forgetting some other stuff. So, I am forgetting. So I almost forgot to show these. Okay. So don't take off yet. So let me show you these new features, and then we'll be out of here. So let's share this, guys. I'm all over the place because there's so much, guys. I'm going crazy. All right, let's share this tab instead. Guys, I love this. Check this out. You guys have already loved the Paradox setup. So let me show you that real fast. So this is the new Paradox. We've already seen these, but not in this platform. So this has got the sharpening stone or hone, which, guys, a lot of people think that you're sharpening with that hone, and you're not. What you're actually doing is straightening out your blade. So a lot of times a blade will get bent. So if you can actually have a knife and it feels dull, and you hit it with sharpening stone, all of a sudden it's sharp again, you're not actually sharpening it. You're basically taking that blade and straightening it. That's what that hone is for, that straight rod on the top with the orange handle. But guys, check this out. So this is great to keep in your boat or in your camp trailer. It does come with a sling. It's got this little clasp here, and you can open this up and bam, look at this. This is great for hunting, fishing, camping, whatever it may be, guys. You have your kitchen shears that we all have already seen. Nikki, stay away from these shears, okay? And then you have all three of your different knives, from a 5-inch to a 7-inch to a 9-inch fillet knife, guys. That is a sick deal right there, okay? You guys want to get the full combo kit, or you can buy the knives by themselves, or the shears by themselves, or the boning knife by itself. That's a killer deal. So you're going to want to check that out. But it's also available in a little bit different style paradox right here. I'm going to show that one to you. This is whether you want to get just the 7 or 9-inch fillet knives. That's also available without the carry case. Granted, that's going to come in instead of $64 with that 20% off coupon. You're going to get this guy coming in at about $29. So you can get your two favorite size fillet knives, 7-inch and a 9-inch, but it does not come in that cool case. Granted, that's $64.99 with the 20% off coupon. That does still give you a decent price tag. That coupon definitely helps. But if you're looking for just the knife, we've got you covered in the standard box there. But here's a new product right here. This is the Intimidator set, okay? This is brand new, the brand new Intimidator set. So let me pull this one up for you guys, and that will wrap up the show. And I'm going to give away, since I can't give away the backpack yet, I'm going to give away one of these knife sets, and we'll see just how good our following is and how many views we got will determine just how much it goes. Does the case have sleeves for the blades? Okay, so let me show that. Actually, that's a great question. So what you actually have here is you have pockets that the knives actually set in. They are Velcroed. Good question. It's going to let me actually take them out. So they do still have their sheath on them. And this is the standard sheath that you can pop with your thumb, but it will lock in. You can pop it with your thumb, but lock it in. And then that also goes into the sleeve. So you have double protection from cutting yourself or sticking this in here and slicing through that cool sleeve that they go into. So great question to ask. So, all right, now let's get into the Intimidator series. Let me pull that up. And I swear, guys, I'm going to turn you loose. Thank you guys for staying tuned this long. Let me just find the Intimidator. Found it right here. This is a brand new set of knives just for you guys. Check it out. So here we go. This setup is pretty cool. Let's pull it out. And yes, it's in another carry case. So this one's a little bit more robust, a little bit more higher end durable carry case. It's coming in my opinion. I kind of like this case a little bit more than the other one. The other one's just, I don't know. This one just makes me happy. So this has a Velcro top that you can actually separate. And then you get into, instead of an orange style system, you're getting into the red handles, okay? So now this has your knives here are not in a sheath like you saw the other ones. They do have a sleeve, but they have a plastic sleeve that you can also slide over. So this one right here, you will have a little bit of an open blade. The other one has a closed system. They do Velcro in, and you get your boning and your 7-inch and your 9-inch fillet knife, but you also get your honing stone. You get a fillet system here, so or a fish descaler. So you can actually use this to help to descale the fish if you're using the species, some certain trouts, different species out there. This is going to help you scale the fish, but it'll also help you pop open your favorite beverage too. That's a win right there. So it keeps going though. You also get a pair of gloves that are going to help you from slicing yourself to the bone. These guys right here are going to take a lot of that danger away from slicing through. Don't get me wrong. Anytime you're handling a knife, you can still cut yourself badly. These are going to help reduce that. Also hold on to the fish and keep it from sliding around very much. It is great. The red and black is the Intimidator 3s. Yes, they are. Now, another cool feature that you also get is a mini cutting board to go with it. So this is a great travel size system. It's a great package. It's going to work great for you. You guys are going to adore this. It's awesome. Plus, it has like a non-slip little backing right there. So you can put this down on a table, and that's going to help it from moving around. And then, of course, it comes with your honing stone. So, guys, those are some cool features in the Intimidator series. Oh, the gloves are underneath it. Yes, they are. So, guys, check them out on Amazon. 20% off coupon. These guys are coming in at $64.99 for this. It's a brand new kit with this full package. Or you can get some of your classics that you've seen previously. You have just the 7-inch or 9-inch. Or let's say you don't want the fish scaler, bottle opener, and cutting board with gloves. You can knock a couple bucks off that price and just get the knives with honing stone in the carrying case. Like I said, guys, thank you guys for tuning in for well over 2 hours, guys. This has been a long show, a lot of products. I'm tired. It is almost 8, it's 7. It's after 7 p.m. in my world. It's after 9 o'clock for you guys. You guys have definitely stuck it out. Holy cow. Thank you very much. And I haven't eaten since yesterday. So I'm going to jump off here, get me my first meal of the day. Guys, it is awesome. iReel 2 release date. Let's go for March, ladies and gentlemen. March. Yeah, it's happening. Nikki never going to live it down. She's not going to live it down, dude. It happens. Dude, I broke a rod at a trade show, and I'll never live that down. And that was my dumb fault. So you know what? We got to own our mistakes, guys. It's going to happen. Dude, guys, thank you very much for sticking tuned to me for 2 hours. Holy cow. And of course, Robert got tired. He fell asleep, man. I gotta hand it to that guy for sticking in as long as he did. He had a bunch of stuff to do. Super awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for sticking tuned. And if you guys are watching the rebroadcast, make sure you're commenting. That way I can pick out a winner and get this stuff shipped out to you guys when I announce the winner next week. And I promise you, next week's show won't be 2 hours of just introducing products. If we do, for some reason, go 2 hours again, this is 2 weeks in a row, 2-hour shows. It's going to be because we have some hilariously fun or just great, interesting guests, and we're going to make it worth it. But either way, guys, thank you very much. I'm out of here. You guys have a great night. If you're not following us on TikTok, check us out at KastKing USA. We have the same handle on Instagram. We also have a second Instagram. It's KastKing by itself. KastKing Community. And then on Facebook, it's KastKing by itself. Or YouTube, you're already watching. You already know. Guys, give us a follow. Give us a subscribe. Click that notification button on so when we go live, you know. And I promise you guys, I won't be doing 2-hour shows like this as much as possible in the future. So, guys, have a great night, and we'll see you later. Booyah! Check them out. Guys, dude, I'm telling you, the new backpacks, you're going to want to tune in for those when they come out. They're banging. They are banging.